Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 64 of the Juggernaut podcast. Welcome to. And I don't know about you, Dan and Spurlie, but I have a real, like sense of deja vu because once again, you, me, and us, we're sitting here waiting for fucking Pete, who's still fucking late again, just like he was last week.
I can't. I mean, he's not above me. He's not below me. So yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to review the Welsh Nationals this episode, and I can start off by letting you all know that last week when we all meet at Toph's house, 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. What time did Pete turn up? Was it about 6:20?
Yes, probably about not far off.
So Dan and Spurlie turned up 5:20 in the morning, the proper time. And you go, okay, well, give him a minute. 5:30 goes by, look at his phone. He's not logged on to WhatsApp since midnight. That's he's still asleep. Let's give him a phone call. No answer. Give him another 5 minutes, give him another phone call. And once again, we're officially in Pete time.
Yeah.
So if you yourself want to experience Pete time, take your phone and just set the phone 20 to 30 minutes behind your standard time. So if you're like, if like ETC, if you're like, here, like, what is it, like GMT in the UK, you wouldn't minus 50 minutes, like 30 minutes, then you'll be in Pete time.
Oh,
it's very fabulous time.
Is Pete still running on GMT whilst we're in British summertime? Is that what it is?
Let's go with that. That makes sense.
West Coast of America time.
Maybe he went to visit one of our Jugger homies over in Maine and didn't quite bounce back.
Maybe.
That sounds very charitable. Let's go with that. How are you guys?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
A bit warm, isn't it? Bit warm.
It's a bit warm, isn't it? It's like last week. It was shit, and now it's like spring, summer to your face.
That's it.
I mean, I'm not unhappy about it.
But
I do like how I can go from complaining about being cold to literally just hating my own skin within about 20 seconds.
Yeah. No, there's thunderstorms forecast for Sunday, so summer's over.
Is it?
Over, yeah.
I heard there's going to be snow next week. What the actual fuck? That's what I heard.
Right.
Maybe people at work were just trying to get a snow day. And I'm like, you know what? Fair play to you. I don't judge you for trying to get that.
I mean, is anyone really going to begrudge them if they just don't turn up? With what's going on there?
No.
Why weren't you in?
No.
I can't be bothered. It's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a future Toph problem. That's next week. This is Friday night Toph. This is Friday night Toph with a bottle of port and a glass. I'm happy.
I'm teetotal tonight. Teetotal. I spilt blood for
What you got, Dan?
I'm on the Coronas tonight,
The
mate.
Corona.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gave
good old
blood.
times.
I gave blood, so they told me I couldn't have. I gave blood, so they told me I couldn't have any anything alcoholic. So I've got cider and black.
Did you not have?
Yeah. That is Vimto. It's Vimto. Yeah.
You should just have one though, because you'll feel like you're.
Yeah. Did you not have your free biscuit?
Oh, I had 2 biscuits, mate. I had 2 mint clubs. 2 mint clubs.
They saw the size of him and thought, get out the extra pack.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're in a proper good blood taking establishment if they offer you the proper chocolate hobnobs. Do you know what I mean? That's when you know that
they don't do hot drinks
getting spent well.
They don't do hot drinks.
What?
It's all cold drinks. Yeah.
Then they don't get my blood if they're not willing to give me a chocolate hot dog and a hot drink to dip it in.
I know.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went to. Don't worry, Pete, you're late. We've already slagged you off. I know it's not your fault, so it's not the point.
I was eating dinner, fuck you.
Who eats dinner at half 9 at night?
Does that make it better or worse when he's late for the podcast because he's eating dinner?
Yes, mate, eating dinner, fuck you.
What'd you have for dinner, mate?
I had a barbecue chicken, sweet potato mash and broccoli.
Good shit.
Nice.
Good shit. Yeah.
Not only on barbecue sauce either, the peri peri barbecue sauce.
Well, actually, we should take this to our resident barbecue sauce expert, Dan. He's been bragging about his parents. contributions to the barbecue world.
That's not his award.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel that when we review the weekend just gone, we will reach the barbecue food section, and then I feel that we'll put a penny in Dan. We will all stand off to a minimum safe distance of around 300, 400 meters, face away, covering your eyes and your ears, and then we'll let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was not barbecue food.
So no, he's actually dressed for it as well because he's got that. That's a barbecue top, isn't it?
Yeah.
T-shirt on.
That's just for you, Rich.
I
That's for nobody else. That's just for Rich.
I like big butts on a side of fries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are they sweet potato fries?
Yeah.
Do you get whackers in the barbecue world, Dan?
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
He is the whacker of the barbecue.
Like people who grill at all costs and all that shit.
They walk around.
Grill at all costs.
You get it's a bit like the bolt action. You get your little factions. So they split off and they talk about each other and gossip about each other. And if someone does well, they'll all slag each other off behind their back.
His brisket was so dry. God.
Exactly, yeah. Can you believe so and so won that event? Fucking hell, chicken's shit, mate. Like
Chicken's dry.
Ugh. Yeah, it's exactly the same in all walks of humanity. So barbecue is no different, is it?
Wow. So before we get onto the Welsh Nationals full review, because I'm sure that's what everyone's looking forward to.
Yeah.
It was in Wales. Yeah. Like anything other to discuss in terms of things that we have done,
what we've done,
or things that are going on in the world of wargaming, like Games Workshop are putting their prices again. Do we give a fuck? No, because it's Games Workshop. They're always expensive.
Games Workshop are going with a 3 to 5% price increase. For some people, the world is falling. For us, we go, oh, expected this.
Yeah,
we just go, Toph, can you go brrr, please? And there we go.
Well, it's business 101, right? If you physically can't keep up production with demand, you rise price. Like, it's shit, but that's capitalism for you.
Well, that's true if your production is at capacity because you've efficiently streamlined everything and you still can't keep up with demand. GW are just shit. And they have
using big. No. Because what you're doing,
guy with a
what you're doing now is you're making it harder for the guys in the suits to get. Why would they improve their processors if they could just raise prices?
Have you heard of a thing called capitalism, Dan?
Yeah,
because capitalism means that you get rid of staff and raise prices.
Dan's like, capitalism completely, mate.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you seen Viva La Dirt League and the delivery guy Byron? I feel like
I have no idea what you're on about. No idea.
You've got to look up Byron on Viva La Dirt League. He's
feel
who
like,
I imagine runs Games Workshop. So.
Dan completed capitalism so far. He's actually on prestige level 2, which is why he's not running around in Ferraris, because he's already completed it and he's had to reset the game.
I'm on Lizard Elite now.
Do they not make it harder for you? So you actually have to go on like the new Channel 4 show, Double Your Money, where every week they just they get the money, and if you don't double your money by the next week, you get kicked off the show.
Yeah,
I'm one step away from being invited to Epstein Island, mate.
Jesus,
you do look quite immature.
Yeah. I bet you've been Necker Island, haven't you? You've been Necker Island.
It's that baby face of yours, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah. It's that smooth ass.
Only got hair on his head.
I tell you,
still a tightest pocket. So
I tell you who's never sweated on Dan's ass. Yeah, Prince Andrew. Yeah.
Wow.
Bit weird, but all right.
I can vouch for him.
So before we wrap, fucking hell, this is going to be a long episode. So let's quickly go through some events and stuff before we crack on. So as usual, our events card is in the Discord. Go and have a look. It's much bigger than we can possibly
keep up with.
Summarize up. So
this is just the stuff we've picked up.
Yeah. So we've got the fucking hell, where are we? Welsh Nationals just gone. Sealand Open's just gone. The Guns of Broom Loan in Glasgow.
No. It's the Guns of Broom Loan.
Thanks, Pete. We've got the Canadian Tabletop Championship in Ottawa coming up on the 25th, 26th of May. World Open War qualifiers on the same day. We've got Battle of Britain on the 1st and 2nd of June. That's ours. And it was a bit rush and go about whether it would go ahead because of numbers, but I'm safe to say it's going ahead. So buy your tickets and hotel rooms with confidence. There you go.
But yeah.
Confidence, that's the word.
Buy more tickets.
Buy more tickets. You've got the Jutland Open that's happening the same weekend in Denmark. Have we got any other big ones coming up?
Frozen and the Chosen in Cardiff is the Bolt Action Career event.
That is the career one. It's a whole weekend. It's a double dayer.
Yeah, it's
No,
was a good event last year from all that went. So
the Korea one,
fancy
Frozen
bit
and the
of career.
Chosen, they've had to drop that down to
Yeah.
1 day. They've had to drop that down. It's not 2 days anymore.
Have they dropped it down? Oh, wow.
Because last
further
year,
out-
everybody said, make it 2 days. So they made it 2 days, and nobody was buying tickets for 2 days. So
That sounds exactly the same as our experience with Battle of Britain, where we're like, does everyone want to be at the UK Games Expo? Yeah. You're going to buy a ticket? No.
Oh,
No. Well, it's fine. We've got enough people sold tickets. We'll go ahead. There's enough people that everyone will play someone different on a different board at least once. Done.
yeah.
Actually, I don't know. We're up to like 14, aren't we? 14, 16 people, something like that.
14 at the minute.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah. Looking further out, 10th of August, you've got Megatron 3000. You've got 45th September, Welsh Open. 21st, 22nd September, Scottish Nationals. And then the 28th, 29th September, you've got the Warsaw Juggernaut GT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've
weird
nicked
that.
our pack. They've translated our pack, which I'm excited about.
Have they?
Yeah.
No?
They've literally taken our pack and translated it.
They
Oh,
are.
mate, I'd love to see a translation to that. It's probably better than what I can do.
Oh, God, yeah.
They are running V2 after the release of V3, but yeah, at that point, you've got a hard choice, haven't you? You're not going to go.
See, this is why I don't. This is what I
Yeah.
don't get, because like the Scottish Nationals are kind of being like, come to the Scottish Nationals. We're going to be like the last ever UK like V2 GT, and I'm like, I don't care. Like once V3 comes out, I'm just going to play
Once
V3.
V3 comes out, we're gonna be in club trying to work out how V3 works.
It's like I would hate for V3 to come out and then you wait a week and then go to a V2 event. It's like no, I'd rather go to a V3 event and just fuck it, we'll give it a go. Do you know what I mean? Like the organised chaos.
Moody's
Absolute
going V3,
chaos.
isn't he? I believe.
Is he doing V3?
For,
Think about
yeah.
all those Facebook players that want to stick with V2. They'll have a home with the Scottish Nationals.
No, but Scottish Nationals is coming out before V3 releases, so technically they can't run V3. But the Polish one,
Okay.
but yeah, if you want to give
Anyway,
people more
there's-
than
there's-
2 days to learn a game.
There's loads of events. Go and have a look on Discord.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if there's events local to you that are like, oh, they're not on there, just
tell
Just-
us.
ask on the Discord. Tell us.
Tell us. I get
Yeah.
plenty of messages from Alan or Botslayer on our Discord. I get plenty of them. He sends me everything.
Alan.
I've
Does
probably
he send you everything? Good. Good.
yeah, I think I've missed some actually as well. Looking at my private messages,
Aw.
he slid right in there, and there's so many.
Shocking,
Okay.
Spurlie,
He
shocking.
keeps us up to date with what's going on the other side of that pond. So
It's a big old pond, isn't it?
it is. It is.
Right. So, episode. We've got two massive segments we can do. We've got the actual event review we can do, and we've got all the data.
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 Oh my God! Now we're not on the data review.
Information.
Which one do you want to do first?
Let's just cover the event first, because it'll make the data will make more sense afterwards, won't it?
Alright.
Okay, let's cover the event first then.
Yeah.
In which case,
Be
Spurlie, would you like
prepared
to...
for toast tears.
Come on, Spurlie, you've added new sounds to me soundboard.
Oh.
Do a transition for me.
Yeah,
Press the button, press the button.
press the button. That's it.
Yeah, me and Spurlie have been playing a fucking lot of Helldivers.
Yeah.
Okay. I was getting
Sounds
Last
very-
of the Mohicans vibes.
No, mate, that's the noise of Helldivers. If you played Helldivers, that's the noise when you get shot out of a cannon, and it's glorious.
Yeah.
I
That's a-
was still
that's a
getting
planet.
Last of the Mohicans vibes.
This
Whatever,
right-
as long as you
yeah.
feel epic, that's the main thing.
This is what spreading democracy sounds like. You know?
Oh, the American national anthem.
Yeah, that's what was playing. You know
Speaking
when
of-
they drove into Iraq for the second time? That's actually what was playing. You know?
Oh dear.
The shock and awe was at
Yeah,
how
yeah.
good the music was.
Yeah. So we went down to Welsh Nationals, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So-
Well,
Earlier than
we
others.
almost didn't because, as usual, we baked in some peak time because
Yeah, we know.
I
we
woke
filled
up
them in.
to I woke up to my phone's ringing. Oh, it's Toph. Oh, I'll tell him I'll be on time.
Look, once Pete actually turned up, it was great times until we got to about 10 miles out of Cardiff, and then the speed limit kicked in. Oh my god. Welsh people,
What is the deal?
how the fuck are you coping going 20 miles per hour everywhere?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Seriously.
It's
How
awful.
do you get anywhere? Like on the same day that you leave?
They had a motorway with a 30 mile per hour limit.
Mad.
30 for
Not
you
temporary
European people. That's like 50 kilometers an hour on a motorway. And all these Welsh people are like, yeah, man, it's just so chill, and I'm bored out of my mind. To be fair to me, I spent a good chunk of that journey actually sticking to the speed limit, and you boys basically ripped my ear off for doing it because you were like, I'm bored out of my mind, Toph, drive properly. So if I get a speeding ticket, I'm blaming you lot.
You know how
we'll put it on the club,
in England,
mate.
we
The club
always,
will pay for it.
we always joke, don't we, that everywhere in England is 2 hours away from anywhere else.
Yeah.
Even if you're going down the road or to the Scottish border, everything's 2 hours away. In Wales, everything is 2 days away from each other. There's nothing you can do about it.
Even Cornwall's not that bad. And Cornwall's like...
No.
Yeah.
Cornwall will let you go 30 mile an hour in a built-up area.
Yeah.
But it's fine. We got there. So, and we did the weekend. So, looking at my notes, we've got to review venue, terrain, pack TO, missions, prizes, and atmosphere. I cannot remember what score we gave the Welsh Nationals last year. Other than it's part of the British National Championship thing. It's one of the biggest tournaments in the UK. It's definitely the biggest one in Wales. I think it's actually the biggest in the UK in terms of like attendance so far this year. Quite easily. There's like 50 people there.
He's
52.
beaten the Welsh Open.
Oof. Love it.
He's beaten the Welsh Open based on the fact that is it Mark Vance that does the Welsh Open? Whoever it is that does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Doesn't want to put on any more tables. I reckon the Welsh Open could go bigger if they sold out quick enough. So.
I mean, that's a Z for effort. Like, come on,
Z for effort.
Well, it is if you've got like 10 players, but if you're already at 40 odd, then it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fine, Mr. Reasonable.
Stop being so
Venue.
reasonable.
Yeah, venue. It was at Firestorm Games, and frankly,
It's 5.
it's the best venue in the UK.
I don't think we'll even
Hands down.
we won't even review that one.
No. We spent a good half an hour waxing lyrical last year about how good the Firestorm venue is.
Relaxing.
Mate, I'm so jealous that it's like 2.5 to 3 hours away because it is amazing.
Yeah.
To be honest,
It's the first time I'd been there, but it's astounding. It's everything you need in one roof, and I mean literally anything, any game type, food, alcohol, good tables. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Good stock of stuff you might want to buy in the shop. It had upstairs, downstairs toilets, disabled access. It was clean, didn't stink at all.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
it was a bit warmer than last year because we were in the hot box.
Yeah, but the aircon handled it, man. I was actually shivering a bit.
Yeah, when it got hot, they turned the aircon on and it was fine.
Are you sure,
Yeah.
Are you sure that was
like
shivering and not just your muscles responding to Dan like extracting himself from you?
No, it was when I was playing Manuel, so it must have been like my like the hormones charging up. Do you know what I mean? Like what's the main game?
Once you've killed all of his
Yeah,
flamethrowers, it cooled down. Is that what it was?
Maybe so. But like, it's difficult to review when a venue is that perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like, what more can you say? Oh, they could do with a bit more parking. But
The food could be better. But
yeah, but like,
I bet you just have to
yeah,
pick the
pay
right
for.
thing. You pick the right thing.
get what you pay for, you know.
Chicken
yeah, the
curry.
burger was a bit shit. But then for saying it was a free meal with your tournament ticket, yeah, whatever. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That.
Again,
Fine.
it's being incredibly picky. Like,
And what
well,
was
you
it?
know, it's 5 out of
40
5.
quid? Was it 40 quid for the ticket again this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with food
I
included.
can't remember.
I think it might have been 50. But like the fact we can't even remember kind of tells you, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of
Food on both days as well, because sometimes on Sundays people don't put anything on
Yeah.
it for the Saturday.
Yeah.
And I had the burger the one day and then the chicken tikka the second day. And
yeah.
both, the burger was fine.
Snap!
Yeah, the
Yeah,
burger
snap,
was fine,
yeah, snap.
but the chips were amazing. They tasted
Yeah.
like you know, like when you go to a like when you go to a market or you go to a city centre and you've got that donut stall and they cook in front of you and you've got that kind of crispy, airy texture. They tasted like that, but in chip form.
So the chips
the only improvement I could say is, like, as an option, can they just give me dirty chips? Do you know what I mean? Like a tray of chips, chili, cheese, jalapenos, sour cream, the lot. That would do me.
You could do it. I was about to say you could do it with the curry, but they had the nachos on as well, didn't they? So.
Mate, curry chips are great too. I'll easily smash that. Basically, I just want more to Dan's point. I just want more the chips. But anyway, and not only that,
the chicken tikka was nice the second day.
Yeah, but and even with Firestorm being so good, its location as well. It's only 2.5 hours away for us. It's straight motorway driving the entire way. You've got the Zip Premier in Cardiff that you can, on a good day, you can get a room for like 30 quid a night. I can't fault it.
No.
I can fault that Zip room, but man, is it cheap.
Yeah. It's also cheap at the venue as well. Like when you're going for like drinks and stuff, usually you go to a gaming place and they'll charge you like £4 for a Coke, and you think, fucking hell. But it was like £2 or £2.50 for a pint.
It was
brilliant.
Yeah.
The bottles of cider were cheaper than that. I of the ones that I got. Yeah.
I thought it was a really good venue. 5 out of 5, easy.
Well, I mean, as a review as well, if you see any event at Firestorm, it's probably worth going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For Bolt Action, any other games like you want to play, if you see a Age of Sigmar or 40k, an Old World event that you want to go to, and you see there's one at Firestorm, as long as the TO's not a knobhead, it's probably worth going because it'll have a good weekend.
They have 3 events on the Saturday because they had us, they had 40k, and Star Wars. Yeah.
Cool.
But there's loads of tables as well.
They also had enough room to run card games at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, 26 tables upstairs, and they easily had.
We were talking about this on the way home. When they do the WTC next year, they should just host it at Firestorm, man.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking amazing. Got food sorted. Everything sorted.
Yeah, it'd work just.
Well, if he's doing separate events for each game, isn't he? He's doing like a Bolt Action TO in the middle of
the
one,
problem
and then
you
Star
would
Wars.
have at Firestorm is having 4 tables side by side, because they're not all four width.
You'd have to rearrange it a bit.
You could fudge it. You could
fudge it. It'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of benefits that it gives you is worth it. Do you know what I mean? Like. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does. There is one thing. It will lose that WTC thing of you. That row of tables is the game.
Yeah.
That there is the match.
Yeah.
So.
But to be fair, I mean, depending what venue they go with in the end, like. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a 5. It's a 5.
Yeah,
right?
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
Sure, it's 5. Yeah, 5. Anybody else? 5. No. Okay.
So I'm going to swap our notes around, and I'm going to talk about the pack, because pack's what you review before you get there. What do you think, boys?
You read it before you get
solid.
There.
Usually, you read the pack before you get to the event if you're doing things properly.
It's solid. The questions I had about the missions that we were given were answered, because I emailed into Reese going, oh, what about this? And they were answered. So for me, there's not much else wrong with the pack, because it put out exactly what it wanted right at the start.
Yeah, taking the missions out as a separate thing we can review separately. Separate. The pack itself, I liked it. It had everything you needed. It told you exactly how things were going to go, how it was going to score, what was going on. They even, I know when List submission came in, they even sent out a nice little, like, here's things to do in Cardiff, kind of.
A traveller's
I like that.
Yeah.
For like if you've brought your family and abandoned them for the weekend, here, give them this to do. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
To do here and here and here, abandoning them over there and there.
The only thing I'd say about a pack was there was a couple of key things that I missed, but I don't really know if it's really fair to mark them down when it's my reading comprehension. But part of me thinks, well, they should make it easier. Maybe smaller things should have been made more clear, if that makes sense. Like, we'll get to like the scoring in secondaries and stuff like that. It was absolutely in the pack, but I know so many people who kind of didn't understand it, glossed over it,
recognised it.
You know what people. We've been on both sides of the sides. It's read the bloody pack, will you?
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking like is there anything that Reese could have done to make it clearer?
Yeah, put you in the head of a stick with it nailed.
Maybe he should have done that. Maybe he should have come and beat me in the head of a stick. Like, that would have been absolutely fine.
The only other thing I would say maybe is, obviously, the secondary thing is what we're going to get onto for us guys, is put that in the mission pack as well.
Yeah.
Everybody, we all spent a lot more time reading that mission pack that just said, what did it say you had to do with the objectives, Toph?
Touch them.
Yeah.
Touch them right there. Yeah.
And there was a section in there, about objectives, and that there'd be a secondary on the board.
Yeah, and it just said secondary. Yeah,
this is worth a
so
point.
I would give him 4.5 a pack, which is it's near perfect. I think probably that whole secondary scoring bit could have just become a bit more clear, only because it became so important. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't important,
I'm going to give it a 5 because learn to read.
Yeah,
don't do that.
It's my fault for missing it.
I'm going to give it a 4, just because the secondary thing is not only is it sort of hidden, but if you read it properly, you can take it. But you could construe it either way, so that's fine. But you can't make fundamental like that, and especially in the mission pack when that's included, to say you have to be touching the objective. You can't make fundamental changes like that without making it abundantly clear beforehand in the pack. This is what's going to happen. Like the fact that you just go, oh, by the way, this is how we're going to be playing objectives, and I'm only releasing it a few days before the event. So I'm going to score 5 based on that. But everything else you need is in the pack. I just don't like that. Like, if you'd have released that at the start, said this is the Welsh Nationals pack, secondary objectives will be worth, and we're playing objectives. There'll be 40 or 50 mil to touch them rather than the 3-inch rule, because we don't like the 3-inch rule. Then that's fine. Everyone's on the same wavelength from the beginning. But to release that bit at the end, at the 11th hour, it's a bit kind of like,
It felt like the 11th hour because he was still trying to fill slots, and he didn't want players that would come in at an advantage compared to everybody else.
No, and again, that's good that he released the mission pack after he tries to source everyone so no one can kind of cheese it.
Yeah.
But that sort of, I mean, you could do that bit in the main pack and still release the missions later on, you know?
Yeah.
So to give a bit of context, so you gave primary points for, like, win, loss, draw as normal, but there was also a secondary on the table, like just a random objective, regardless of the actual mission, that you could go and capture, and if you capture it, you got secondary points. Now, I think the assumption was, from most people, was that would be used as some sort of divider. So if you had 2 people on equal number of wins, you'd then go, well, how many secondaries did I have? We can just go with that person. But actually, this secondary was worth primary points in of itself, which means if you got, say, 5 points for 3 points for a win, if you had the 3 points at the win in the secondary, you'd have 4 points, which means over the course of 3 games, if you got the secondary each time, you could basically have as many points as having 4 wins.
Yep.
So actually made a massive difference, and just not a lot of people kind of twigged. Like, I hadn't twigged, even though I hadn't benefited massively from this. I hadn't twigged because I hadn't read it properly, because reading comprehension, woohoo! So, like, I think in the end, I think all things balanced out the end anyway.
Yeah, I will say it's how they do it in rugby, and Wales loves rugby.
Yeah.
So they get. Correct for Ross, they get additional points for rugby from one game.
Wales, if you got rid of the bonus point in rugby, Wales wouldn't do very well at anything. So, yeah.
Oh!
So,
he says that with an England rugby top on.
Savage.
I mean, come on. In order to fill the Millennium Stadium, I'm not calling it whatever else it's called now, the Millennium Stadium, in order to fill that, they have to bring Bruce Springsteen into town, don't they? So, that's it. It's his fault. Our hotel was more expensive.
So what we're doing on pack then?
Well, it sounds good. We've got 4s, 4.5s, 5s. So 4.5 is probably quite a solid.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah, fair enough. Got to add those halves in to make life difficult.
Yeah,
man.
Because you love the math, don't you?
So while we're kind of hovering about it, shall we also do missions as well then, since we're kind of in that same ballpark? So the mission pack was released separately to the main pack, like what, a week to go before so it was after this submission, but it was delayed a bit because people had dropped out and Reece didn't want to release the mission until more missions to come in. Fair enough.
We all had the same time as the mission pack. That was the key.
Yeah, it was the Monday or Tuesday before the event on the Saturday.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the Tuesday because
it was the Tuesday because we played it immediately at club.
Yeah, because me and Peter remember thinking, it was released today, so we had a chance to play one of the missions before we came in.
He definitely missed a trick. Yeah, not releasing it in 4 sections, and you know, if he'd released it in 4 quarters, it would have been you know,
on brand, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, we don't like that.
So
for the missions, I'd have probably put them in the order and play them, because
who the fuck
that's Pete's washing in the fucking.
No, he's got fireworks going off, isn't he? He's got fireworks going off.
This is such professional.
What? There was like a dentistry student in the background. Plaque up enamel.
No,
Toph, if you want professional, let them give us coins, you know. Send us stars, and then we'll go professional.
That's the same noise that a noob makes when you punt them over the wall because you're beating them that hard. And
that was the noise Toph was making Game 5.
That was the noise I was making.
If you push Toph's prostate, he does exactly the same thing.
No, but I like the missions, but just put them in the order you're going to play them. Like, I see more and more people doing it, and it's like, ooh, but mystery, and I'm like, yeah, but the players are all going to play them. But if you've got 5 missions, they're going to play 5 missions. Yeah, but the only reason we leave it as a mission for the Juggernaut stuff is we've got 10 missions, and you're only going to play 3 or 5
of them. It's always random, Pete.
Yeah, we always randomly roll.
Always random. No. TO's never picked them.
No, we randomly roll.
Randomly roll.
Just if we played mission 5, it's weird how many 5s we roll.
It's like he's got a pig on a spit, but it's not dead.
Do you know what? I say it every week. It can't get more tin pot, and it always fucking does.
It can get more tin pot.
Look, I'm watching the live stream. Yeah, we had 10 viewers watching the stream. Yeah, high double-digit numbers. Pete started screeching, and now it's down to 9.
Oh no.
Anyway, so the missions we played, there was Meet and Engagement, there was Sectors, and there was Heartbreak Ridge. They'll be the 3 that most people will know as like standard kind of community missions. There was also 2 that were brand new and created specifically for the event. It was it like Seek and Hold?
Yeah. Season
Hold, and that was kind of like Heartbreak Ridge, but there was like 2 objectives in each quarter and nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
Basically, it basically formed a line of objectives, and then what was the other one called? It was the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
The bigger the better.
It was basically kill points, but the points were based on the points value of the unit that you killed.
Which, FYI, 0 to 49 was 1 point. 50 to 149, so the majority of the units in bolt action were 2 points.
Yeah, it did kind
of. You weren't seeing 3-point units.
Well, I'll put it this way: on the game when I played that game, we didn't even bother working out the actual points at the end because it was clearly obvious what the result was going to be. Do you know what I mean?
I was 13 dice up. We just looked at it and went, "Well, I've won that. Move on."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so and there was a lot of quarters. Every mission was like quarters, and then you have to divide your quarters. Like, put one objective there, deploy your quarter, come on that edge, and it's like And there's one mission.
Also, the quarters weren't always the same as well. So like, you would come on from different parts of the board for each different thingy, so you get confused as to what you're actually supposed to bring on from where, because one of them was your long table edge, but it's your quarter. Another one was from your quarter, so you could come up this flank and then come on that long edge as well. There's just too many quarters, man. It was just
yeah, because there was one of them where like you'd come on from any of the table edge in your quarter, short and long, but then if someone was forward deploying, you could literally, and they put them in their half towards your table edge, you could walk on within 6 inches of them. It was just really weird.
Pieces,
like, it's one of those things where if we had more than a week to practice and play these missions, it would have been fine. But most people, the first time they were playing these missions was on the day, which I always think is a bit, And I know we spoke to Reece and know what he was trying to do and stuff, and had a bit of variety. But I think at this point in V2's life, there's a plenty of good community missions to pick from that people use and play for variety. Just pick one of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know people might go, I don't want to play time objectives because we always play time objectives.
I had 2 squads of fucking Rangers for that.
Yeah, but
I get to use them.
But they're, and I know when I speak to Reese about the harder they fall, the bigger the badder one, and he was like, he said I didn't want to play No Man's Land and I didn't want to play Meat Engagement again. I was kind of like, well, just pick Meat Engagement again. Just play it twice. It's a good mission.
You know what he could have played?
But with extra steps.
You know what he could have played? He could have played Priority Targets and really put people all over the place.
Or key positions. That was a standard one that wasn't in there. There was some good. There's plenty of good missions.
Double envelopment.
Get the fuck out. Stop it.
Heartbreak Ridge is sectors with objectives. Season Hold is sectors with objectives. The
sectors is kill points with quarters.
Sectors is quarters with kill points.
And kill points.
And the other one,
the bigger the better is
with objectives. So we played the same mission 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
I'm all for mixing it up, but that was mental. Like when we did the WTC pack, we made it a point to say there's 6 missions and there's 3 deployment types. So we do 2 that are walk on, 2 that are deploy with a wave, and 2 that are all deploy. And it makes it, at least you've got 3 different types. You've got variation for each one. But this was all the same. Every single mission was the same, and it was fucking boring. And it was, to be honest, deploying everything in sectors, every single mission was shit.
I will also point out, if you're always deploying in sectors, you always know where the middle point of the table is because you've had to go find it. You always know where the centre line is. It's pre-measuring straight away.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, once that centre point of the table was found, as a player, I'm looking at going, that's the centre point, and drilling it into my mind. That is 24 inches into the board. That's exactly where I need to be. You know?
You're playing, a lot of the time as well, you're playing on sectors. You're playing in your quarter, but you're doing 1250 armies. So it just leaves everything down, being so cramped in this one area, and then everyone just goes, well, I'll take a multi-launcher then.
Don't talk to me about getting
There's 19 units in a table quarter. I can hit every single unit with 2 multi-launchers. It's just, there's no tactics to that. You set up, you die.
Especially when we get to terrain, some of the layouts very much did not help the situation, where you would have one quarter that was obviously the worst to be in.
There was about 6 different tables I noticed throughout the weekend where it's I don't want to be there. And if you can see I don't want to be there, you go, I'll put them there.
Yeah, and I know we've spoken in previous episodes about there being an art to picking the table side, and sometimes it's a bit nice to have a bit of difference so that becomes a game itself. But there's a line where you think actually you've gone too far. Well, and
our game game 5, Toph.
Yeah.
A lot of it came down to I won the roll off for sides, so I thought, well, I'll just stick on the table side with actual cover then, and Toph went across the board to me. So
because on Dan's side he had walls and
buildings, walls and everything,
and I had nothing. Yeah, we'll get to that though. For missions for me,
I had 2 like that as well.
Yeah,
for missions for me, too many fucking quarters. I get what you were trying to do, but oh my god, if you wanted more quarters, do 3 and then 2. Don't do fucking 4 and 1. So you can have, because alright, some of the missions I quite enjoyed, a 3.
I forgot to even mention freaking prep bombardment. That turned up twice.
That was turning up it's there in sectors, you expect in sectors, but when it's in another quarter mission and another preparatory bombardment, you just go, what's the point?
I'm gonna give him 3 because to his credit, he didn't include shit like envelopment. There was no top secret or surrounded or point defense. I think the only problem with it was there wasn't enough time to spring brand new missions on people. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And I just think make your life easy. Pick from what's already there. You got the Bolt Action Alliance pack, you've got the Juggernaut pack. There's plenty of mission packs you can select stuff from. Just pick one of them.
I would have absolutely loved it if it slid in priority targets from our pack and just really fucked with people, because that mission, if you're thinking, oh yeah, of course you guys want it, it's your mission, that mission fucks with us too. Because we're like, wait, what if I'm going to kill? What if I'm going to keep alive? Oh crap. You know? Suddenly the risk takers amongst us, are in the crap.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of missions as well that I just hate. Like the WTC included Heartbreak Ridge, but a different version of it. I think it's similar to the Jugger pack one, because the Heartbreak Ridge in his pack, your home objective counts for nothing. Well, why am I fighting to hold on to an objective that's worth nothing? Surely it should be worth something for both players, whether it's 1 point or 1,000,000 points for opposing objectives. It doesn't matter, but because that decided one of my missions as well. I was on my objective and I'd got him off of his. So why am I not being rewarded for holding an objective? And it just didn't make any sense to me. So I'm going to get a pack of 1. I hated it.
It could have been way worse. It could have been worse. Could have been way worse.
Four sectors.
It is worth something, as much as you don't gain a point. Dan, nobody's ever going to get more than a 1 from you based on what you've said tonight. So,
Yeah.
No, because if you've got 3 or 4 different deployment types, fine, that's great. But we didn't. We had sectors. We had quarters 4 times. We had the same mission from the quarters to get into opposing quarters and claim objectives 3 times.
No, twice. Twice.
What?
Season, the bigger the badder wasn't an objective mission. The bigger the better. So you sectors, the bigger the better.
2 kill points mission.
3 kill points.
And the objective
No.
leave your quarter and get the other points.
Yeah, but sectors is kill points, right? More or less. It's kill points and quarters.
Bigger the better.
Bigger the better is kill points and quarters. Yeah?
Yeah.
There's 2 of one type and 2 of the other type.
Listen, I like
So there was
Reese.
only 2
I think he's a great lad, and he did a lot of good
5.
work with this event. But those missions were not good. They really weren't.
Sectors is great.
One last point. There were so many fucking draws. I think that comes down to the mission as well. When you have 2 objectives in each side and you've got to fight over them, that's just draw sitting, because you defend your 2, try and attack your 2, your opponent's doing that, both of you just end up with 2.
Yeah, that's your Heartbreak Ridge, because it's worth 0, 1, 2. There's not enough points for you to go Whereas the change we made, which was 1, 5, 10, it's currently, oh god, I've actually got to go and get that.
Especially when he also said, you need to be within 3 inches. You need to touch the objective to score it. You can't be within 3 inches. It made contesting so much harder as well, which also meant, hey, look, you have more draws because you can't just contest stuff easily anymore. So, I think that there's a lot of draws, which then made the scoring even tighter.
23 draws.
23 draws. Oh,
that's a lot of draws. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 26 a round, and 23 draws is still quite a lot.
It's around 20%, just under 20%.
Yeah, that's a lot. It feels like a lot anyway. Yeah. I'll give it a 3. I'm not as harsh as Dan on it.
I'm on for 3.
And Pete sounds like he's a pot about to boil.
That's just the feedback from Facebook.
So that's a 2.5.
What we want to score then?
2.5.
That sounds reasonable. That sounds
bang on 50-50.
Reasonable. Again, I'm going to segue because we already touched on terrain a little bit. I have 2 opinions of terrain. One's a 5, the other's a 1. The 5 is that it looked amazing. The 1 is that the layout left a lot to be desired, in that there was a lot of tables that just were not fair.
Yeah, I've got to give my score based on the 5 tables I played on, which means it's not going to score well. Because
no.
3 out of my 5 tables were...
They looked great. And you could tell there had been thought about how the theme of the table goes to go, this is a town courtyard, like town square. This is a jungle outpost. This is a factory sector. And that was all great, and it all looked great, and it all looked perfect. But the balance in terms of what was on what side of the tables were left so much to be desired, that I know of games that were won or lost based on that initial dice roll.
I had 2 games decided by terrain before I even rolled a dice, because I got terrain and my opponent didn't, and it's as simple as that.
Game 1, I was playing Spurlie. I got choice and gave him the shittest part of the board and went deal with that, and he couldn't.
I couldn't.
Game 2, I don't know about you, Toph, but that board was far too open in places. You just couldn't fight. And then there was other places where you couldn't move. So it's like, I can't move, I can't fight. Oh, God.
And there was also repeats of the infamous nothing but forest board that I moaned about at the WTC. I didn't have to play on it, but I saw that there was something very similar there. I think it was the. Did you play on it, Spurlie? I hope you love that. So it looks awful.
My first three games, if it was a 1-day event based on those 3 tables, unfortunately there'd be a 1 drop in. But because game 1 against Pete, he put me in the corner, which he had his multi-launcher aimed at these buildings, and I had 2 3-inch gaps that I could move through. And basically anything, he just shot at the buildings and just meant that everything got hit.
I was the only one with the multi-launcher. Saw a lovely line of buildings that would sit mainly in his quarter and went, brilliant, go and sit next to all those buildings so I can multi-launch you to death.
If I wasn't
it makes an entire Soviet horde still enough that an American army could pull it to bits piece by piece.
If it wasn't for...
I'm going to say 2 words. Scatter terrain. If any of those boards actually had some scatter terrain, they would have been fine.
I mean, a lot of the boards did have it.
My next game, when I was on Johnny, only had scatter terrain. It was the desert board that was flat. It was like
the board I was on 4 was the board Toph was mindlessly fannying around with and fitting those buildings together after.
Oh yeah.
It looked great. It's a bunch of buildings and they're all modular, so they can all slide around the table and you can fit sections together randomly. But there was 8 different sections for this thing, and that was it. There was no fences, no scatter terrain, no debris, no random trees, no nothing. It was just a.
Is it one of those situations where it's like you get yourself in hardcover dense terrain like a ruin, but then the next bit of terrain is 18 inches away, which means it just becomes islands of protection that you can't leave because you just die. Yeah.
Well, I won the roll off and had the heavy
every board.
Yeah, I won the roll off. Got the heavily defended bit with about 4 buildings in. Put my opponent in the other quarter where it was this courtyard thing, and he had 2 exits from it. He walked to his vehicle. He drove his vehicles into the exits. I immediately destroyed them with howitzers, and then he couldn't move his army out of that courtyard.
Yeah,
and it was well, sorry mate, there's nothing you can do here.
Yeah,
so he drove his tank through a wall, and then it immediately got blew up by the other house.
It
sounds similar to me and Spurlie, because I put him in the corner. I went, come at me, and then while I'm going come at me, I'm skirmishing at him with rangers, and it's just no, stay there while I blow you up. And Spurlie's going, Arr!
It's a real shame because it looked awesome. It was really high quality. It would look really high quality terrain. You could tell a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into paint and stuff. It was literally a case of just layout.
Yeah.
And then most boards, it was quantity was fine as well. It was just not distributed correctly across the board. It was one of those things where you just needed to go around, say if you set it all up on the Friday, someone needs to go around on the Saturday morning with a fresh set of eyes and go, no, change. Do you know what I mean? You needed the micromanagement side, which I know I get a lot of shit for doing, but that's the bit that needs doing. You know what I mean? That's what can make and break it.
It reminded me of not this year's WTC, but last year's. But it just was all set up incorrectly, and you just think, oh mate, you've missed such a trick here. You just need to take a few bits off that board, put them here, put a couple over there, and mix it all up a bit.
I think out of all my games, I think game 3, that board, absolutely fine with. Plenty of terrain, plenty of stuff to hide behind, plenty of stuff, and a lovely area to shoot at as well, which meant it was a very mobile game. It was US versus US, but it's a mobile game. And then round 5 was another great board. I was like, okay, this board's making me think, and I don't think it's unfair. Nice.
One of the other ones I had now, game 2 against Felix, we had a big ass river that was about 4 or 5 inches wide, stretching diagonally across the table, almost fully in my deployment quarter, but not touching his at all. And it just completely neutered the game. It was unplayable.
I'm going to give him a 3, smack in the middle, because it feels unfair because it was such nice terrain.
Yeah, the quality was great.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we're there to play games and try and beat each other fairly. Do you know what I mean? That's ultimately what we're there for the tournament, and that needs to take precedent. And I can appreciate, it's a 52-man event. Sourcing that much terrain's a fucking nightmare. Setting that many boards up, a fucking nightmare. I can appreciate that. But the reality of the ground is, we had games that were compromised by the boards that we were played on.
It was as you say.
It didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it was islands of I'm safe. Like I could see my opponents go, I'm safe here. I'll sit here, and I'm just like boring.
And again, like the game I played against Dan, when he got a set of trees, a wall, and a building in his deployment zone, and I got nothing. It's just.
I could hide all my harvesters behind heavy cover, and Toph couldn't hide shit. So it was decided. It was done.
Yeah. Just making excuses for myself, mate. That's it. I'm going to
give it a 2 because
it looked great.
The quality and it looked really nice, but the playability was just not there, and that's the main factor for me.
Yeah. So we're on a 3-3-2. What are you, Spurlie?
I am gonna go with a 2. I am, just because those first 3 games, having put in a corner, so 1 dice roll, Pete won, put me in the corner, I'd lost. Second game, that desert board was just like being in a desert. Credit to Riso, he had asked the guy to add more height to the board who'd built it for him, and so what he did is some of the scatter bits were about an inch high rather than flat to the table. So
makes all the difference.
Yeah, and then
I played 1 inch matters.
I played on the jungle table game 3, which
that was a horrible board.
Yeah, that looks awful.
It was just like every 3 inches there was another.
That would have been the Bo Mortensen special. He'd have loved that board.
Yeah,
he'd have been like, "That's the best board there."
Yeah. So that So a 2. I'll go with a 2. But that's the 2 tables I got on day 2 were much better, but still not. Yeah.
Yeah, my boards, as I say, game 3 and game 5 were great. Otherwise, it was somebody's going to get crap, and the other person's going to have to deal with it.
So what you're telling me is
Nick
the tables
in the chat has just said, was that table Y?
Yes,
I had to play
was.
on that board twice, and both times it was fucking awful.
It was table Y.
Yes.
That was the desert board, table Y.
My theory is
why does this exist?
The tables at the bottom were shit. The tables at the top were shit. It was all the middle tables that were great. Because my first game was wicked, and that was my middle table. So I'm just gonna. That's my theory. Is it's all the middle tables that were great.
Clearly, just punished for being good or bad.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
You should do it the other way around. Put the really shit ones at the top. Make you guys work for
No.
Whilst the rest of us mere mortals just have a nice time.
Yeah.
No, like put all the rubbish ones in the middle. So if you're going for mid-table mediocrity, you really got to dig to get out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick's commented quarters, no cover, Japanese versus double multi-launchers.
Yeah. That's kind of the tone.
That's how it goes.
The tone. So let's be more positive, because there is a lot to be positive about. So I'm going to talk about TO.
1 for the TO.
No, Reese is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but he's Welsh.
He's
Welsh. We can't score him more than one.
It's not just that. It's like, obviously I've made it very clear. I just need Reese to whisper in my ear forever. Because I love his voice. I can tell me what to do as well.
So the TO team is Reese and Josh.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, they were brilliant.
Yeah.
They were well oiled. They basically, every time there was any kind of dispute or whatever, bang, they were there. Here's the ruling, move on with your life. And that's exactly what you want. And they were open to a small challenge, which is fine. It was, he stated at the start, they're open to a small challenge, but treat it like a rugby ref. You go, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. And I was like, I'm absolutely fine with that. Absolutely no problem.
The best part.
I only actually had to call him over once. And it was nothing to do with the rules. It was me and Spurlie going, oh man, somebody's going to feel bad on this decision. Should we get somebody else to do it?
Yeah.
That's the best. But if those are the only things you will be asked to do, you're doing TOing properly, right?
Yeah, all he had to do for me and Pete was he did a line of sight check, basically. For cover.
Somebody's going to feel bad either way.
One thing they didn't have an answer for was when Dan called them over, and he was like, "Please, sir, I'm fucking Toph so hard. I need you to do something nice for him," and they didn't have an answer.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met, or at least I've never played Josh before, but he seemed really knowledgeable. When I called him over a couple of times, he knew the answer straight away, gave his ruling straight away. Reese screwed me over on one rules calling, but that's the way the cookie crumbled.
Savage.
I thought I had blocked it out of the way, but apparently I didn't. So Reese me over there for.
Well, that's your own fault, mate.
Yeah. Fuck Reese.
A good player would have made sure it blocked line of sight.
I liked the one bit of ruling as well where it was me and Gary, which was like the closest fucking squeaky bum time game
the grandfather of bolt action, Gary Morgan.
And it was so fucking tight, and we had one of those situations where like I had killed a tank on top of an objective. So it was the whole like, could you touch it or not when it's impassable terrain? And obviously, Gary was desperate for the draw. I was desperate for the win. So we were both there going, "Go on, Reese!" And he was like, "No, I'm playing it cool. Man. I'm just gonna go with what we've been rolling so far, and tell you both to fuck off." And he's like, "Mate, you smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. It was great." And he made me very happy as well when I was running over Manuel's army with 8+ armored vehicles, and Manuel was very upset and was like, "No, you shouldn't be able to do it." And he was like, "Sorry, buddy, that's what you can do." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can."
Yeah, welcome to Bolt Action V2, where you can punch it over. It's horrendous. If you're listening, Manuel, you weren't the only victim of that. I got caught on it. Bastard.
Dan was the only player who didn't happen to at least once over the GT. And even then, you probably deserved it. Like,
I know, I was fully prepared for it to knock out both my howitzers, but I got.
It was right. It was ready and primed, and then it was like, "Do you need a dice?" Nah, don't need a dice. Don't worry about it, mate. Nah. So,
I deserved it because I took a risk, and then Toph went, "A risk? No, you're nothing but a smear on this pavement." I was like,
yeah. But no, a 5 out of 5 to you, man. Absolutely smashing, and also just being friendly goes a long way, and having someone to chat shit with in between games and all that. Do you know what I mean? Because like,
especially round 2, me and Toph finished in like 45 minutes. Oh man, that was long.
There's nothing worse than a robot TO who doesn't really want anything to do with the people who are actually like attending their event. It sounds weird, does happen.
Yeah.
So. And Reese and Josh were proper up for a laugh. So no, 5 out of 5 for me. Smashing, mate.
It was great at the start.
If Reese were going to like,
I was just going to say at the start, he set it out nice and clear. If Dad doesn't give you the answer you want, don't go and ask Mum.
Don't ask Mum.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm gonna nick that line for Battle of Britain. I'm gonna be like, don't ask Dad, don't ask Mum, don't ask Uncle Jorge who's giving it to Mum. Like, don't do it.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna copy one of Toph's good sayings. I'm not your dad.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I'm not your dad.
Except when I'm TOing, then I'm your fucking dad. Yeah, just pipe down. Cool.
I'm your daddy.
So
that's what it is.
Are we all 5 out of 5?
Yeah, 5 out of 5, baby. 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Wicked.
I expected Dad to just go 2 then, just to like screw with the maths.
I was going to knock him a point off because he's looking more and more like Danish Jan.
He does look like Danish. He does look like he'd be Welsh Jan.
Yeah, he doesn't drink nearly enough to be Jan, but
no,
give him a point for that. Give him a 4.
No, give him a 5. I'll tell you what, it's such a difference.
Yeah.
It's such a difference having a TO that's like, here's the line, don't press it, because you're there like, sweet, nice, know where I stand, and knowing that it's I would go to most events if Reese was TOing them.
Yeah.
Well, both of them, right? Because Josh as well. They both knew their stuff. They knew exactly what needed to be done, and they did it. And they're good lads as well. And you can talk to them because we were talking to them about a scoring system that TOs could use that we could try and develop together and stuff. Maybe use it for the WTC as well. So, you know, it was really good. We liked it.
Well, yeah. One thing I do say, I know they would do a lot of their scoring. They were doing manually. By that I mean like typing the numbers into their spreadsheet, but then having to copy and paste it between fields and tables and stuff. Yeah. And of course we
discuss player numbers.
Because, well, yeah, Yes.
No. So that when I found out that was happening on that spreadsheet, I was there like, oh man, oh dude, you could have just asked me for something like I need a 5-rounder. I just need to be able to put in what a win's worth, what this is worth, and it'll work it out. And I'll be like, okay.
We have shared our patented Jugger formed tournament technology with them, haven't we? Please.
Not yet. I'm gonna nudge Reese in a few weeks.
Send it over.
I'm gonna let him simmer down. I'm gonna let him just chill, and then.
But when we got there, right, you sign up on the day, and instead of taking your name, well, they take your name to make sure that you've arrived at the event, but what they do is they give you a lanyard with a player number. Now, as someone that, if I don't know you well, and you come up to me at the start of the game, shake my hand and go, how you doing? My name's Michael or Barry or whatever, Steve, I don't care what it is.
Hi, I'm Barry Scott.
At the end of the game, after I've just called you mate for 2 hours and 30 minutes, I will not remember your name. So at the end, when I've come to fill out the scorecard, it's so much more socially acceptable for me to go, what was your player number again, mate? So I can fill it out on the score sheet rather than going, who are you? I've played you for 2 hours, but I don't know your name because I forget names.
It was interesting.
It's the first thing I wrote down every game.
It was interesting when you was like, you're playing 32. Who's 32? Wait a minute. Dan was in the mid-30s. Is he 32? Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm playing 38. Who's 38? Oh no.
Well, that's
but I was looking out for 37, so I don't know who that is.
I was like, I'm playing number 9. Who the fuck's that? And Toph's like, who's this 48 twat? I was like, oh, it's me.
It was a good way of doing it. I liked it, but it was difficult when we was like, so how's the table looking? And Reece would be like, I'm fucking out. You just load of numbers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And the only bad thing is where it did take him till round 5 to find the TV screen to be able to project it onto it for the matchups. He would just stand there with the laptop going, 41 plays 7. 25
the shittest bingo, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, talking about bingo while we're here, I would like to congratulate Alex for completing quarter bingo at the Welsh Nationals.
By deploying at least once in every quarter.
His home quarter was at least once in every one. We'd labelled them and he went, off we go. I think me and Dan failed by 1 quarter,
3.
but yeah.
3.
When Alex got
winning more.
when Alex got the quarter he needed for the round 4, he turned around, he yelled out bingo, and that was me and him going, yeah.
Love it. So yeah, basically brilliant TOing. If there's any improvements to make, it's more for his help than our help, which is like mate,
help
a
yourself,
spreadsheet that does the formulas for you like we have. Talk to Pete. I don't learn this stuff. Pete does this stuff.
I put it in, and then Toph goes, "How this work?" Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Spurlie looks in and goes, "Oh, mate, you could do this as well." And I'm like, Spurlie understands me.
Yeah. Dan's bad cop. I'm good cop. Whatever the fuck Spurlie is, Pete does the numbers. That's how we TO.
I'm Hitchcock and Scully. I'm both of them, mate.
Yeah,
I am Hitchcock and Scully. I am.
Yeah. You were hot back in the day, but now you're just old and fat.
Does that make me the lieutenant?
No, I think you could be Rose.
It makes you Tina Lanetti.
Yeah, all right. I'll be listening.
Yeah.
No one really knows what she does.
Dan's definitely Raymond Holt. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Dan could be Boyle because of all of his like barbecue food stories. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, Dan's too cool for that. Too cool.
It depends what round I'm on. I think I flip between. I flip into Rosa at times because there's some rounds where I'm like, get the fuck away from me, I'm busy.
Hey, once Pure Gym opens, I'm going to be Terry, mate.
Oh, Terry loves yogurt.
Terry loves his
Terry
kids.
when he loses it with the nips and puts on loads of weight.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next bit.
Yeah, next bit is
prizes.
Oh,
well, there's a 52-man event and there's a prize for everyone. So he's hit the Juggernaut gold standard straight away. 5, yeah. I will say though, the only problem I do have is that I don't feel there's enough hobby prizes. there was one prize for like best painted, best hobby, best army theme, best kind of whatever you want to choose it in one. I don't know why he did that. He did that so he's like, so you can decide for yourself what you're judging on and just do a vote for best painted army, and that's all great. But I feel like I just preferred more prizes as they now. One for best painted, one for best theme, one for best conversion, one for best individual things. You know what I mean? There's enough prizes there that could have done that. And I just think it would have been better to then share the love a little bit more and then acknowledge people for different things, if that makes sense.
Well, like the best army was
Sally
names
Sally.
Sally's not
with the dodos.
With the dodos.
Yeah.
It's a cool army, and it's a good little gimmick to make it stand out from all the others that look quite similar to it. But it wasn't the best painted.
Yeah.
So we do best painted list and then oddball and theme, and I agree. I think you should split it into, well, this person's clearly put the most effort into theming their army, like Toph's French or his Lancers. This person's done amazing paint job on his thing, like when Owen attends our events, all of his stuff is brilliantly painted. I prefer it when you split it out like that to reward people different.
So he had like the Warlord certificates, and he had given out prizes as well to like best British player, best allies, best allies, and stuff like that. And I just think we already have first, second, third. Do you know what I mean? I would have liked to have seen more acknowledgement of the hobby side of things. That being said, though, it's a really minor pick, and I do feel a bit petty for picking it. But like, there's a prize for everyone. No complaints.
Yeah.
I just like more reasons. I just like more reasons to clap for more people.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
You just want people acknowledged for the stuff. Like you get claps for finishing in the top 3 because you've done really well. Well done, mate. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
But then you want people acknowledged if they've come really far down, or if they've got the most tank kills during the weekend, or if they've done something good.
Because like the top allies, top axis, top
the top of whatever nation is always going to be within the top 10 or top
exactly.
50,
they normally go to the top 3 who are already going up and getting a clap anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like Dan got top minor. Why? Because he won with his French. Woo! Like he's already going up. I don't want to clap for him again. Give the clap somewhere else.
Yeah.
Dan's already had the clap.
Yeah, Dan's already had the clap.
Dan should be giving the clap out, not receiving more clap. Yeah.
But I think that's the only gripe really with it really.
Yeah.
I really liked what the and this is dirty noises, what the Age of Sigmar GT did the year we went, which was, here's a prize for the top scored person on 1 win, here's a prize for the top scored person on 2 wins, and it was just like, you split the field a bit more to say, hey, you're down here, but you were the best person.
Yeah, I like that because the top person with 1 win means like, I may have had a battering all weekend, but I'm a pro at battering.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then you've got like the mid-table actually getting, hey, you did pretty well on 3 wins, you did pretty well on 4.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I also like the spread of prizes. There was lots of really cool. It was basically like you just go up and pick out your prize when your name was called. But there was model kits, there was books, there was terrain. I know we as a club kind of went, shit, all of us go and grab terrain because that's we don't need model kits.
Well,
but that's what we do as a club,
it was kind of the if you don't want something yourself and you just grab some terrain, don't grab a book because V3's coming up, you know?
Yeah. And
everybody I saw went anywhere near those books were just like, nope.
And me and Pete played a game on that terrain that Tuesday in club, and guess what? It was good shit.
Nice.
It was good shit.
Toph loses on that terrain. We'll take that.
Yeah. Toph does lose. Yeah. So like prizes would be like a 4.9 for me.
It's a 5.
It's
but there's always improvement. You can't.
There's always room for improvement.
The prizes is a 5 out of 5. It's just you'd like them to be acknowledged for different reasons. Yeah, 5 for me.
Crispest high five of the weekend.
I did like his technique of doing best sportsman, where not only did you have to vote for your best player, you had to put there was like a score sheet where you had to write a comment after every game.
He didn't reckon the comments did nothing for him. He was
wasn't
only
for him,
interested
that was
in the
you.
number at the bottom.
Okay, I assumed he would be using them if in like a tiebreaker situation where if you had 4 people on the same vote, you'd then look at the comments and see what people have said about it. Okay, but I like doing that anyway because I got to call. It was another opportunity to call Dan a beer cunt. You know what I mean? Like,
it took the pressure off you because you could write a little bit more on there, and then if you've gone, it's not quite 5, but it's very close. You can do like 4.8 and go Y. You know.
I believe my comment on Mr. Gary Morgan was "you jammy cunt." I believe was the comment I wrote down.
He was probably writing the same for you, to be honest.
Yeah. The thing was very much full of love and mutuality. It was
like game 1, my comment was "lol Spurlie." Game 2, my comment was "Toph loaf."
I think yours, Pete, was took it like a champ.
That's what a Toph loaf is. What's happened here? I've been Toph loafed. Okay.
And I think for Dan was he could have fucking took me for dinner first. You know what I mean?
Thing is, our game was just after dinner, so you did take me to dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same for Dan. Actually, we did eat first, but whatever. It is what it is. Last one, atmosphere. You budget cunt 0 out of 5. I'm done.
5. I'm not going to mark anything down on my own fault for pulling up the number right next to Spurlie's for first round. That is my fault. You know,
it was like I know me and Dan spoke about this a lot over the weekend, and it sounded it was a very good swan song for V2. That it was a massive event, and it was also like the who's who of competitive bolt action. There was very few faces that weren't there in terms of people we've met and interacted with and grown to love and respect over the course of V2. So it was
within the UK at least.
Within the UK, but even so, we had Felix and Manuel came from international. Even still, So I'm like, and for me and Dan as well. I don't know about you guys, but we were discussing like it's probably the last event we'll do for V2 because we're all going to go and fuck about the old world for a bit now until V3 comes out. Because come July, August, September, we'll get review copies and we'll start playing with that and shit. And obviously, once you start with the V3 mindset, you don't want to backtrack again.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like almost like a lovely goodbye. But obviously, it's not goodbye because we'll see everyone again for V3. But it was a good kind of culmination of everything we've built up as a community up until this point. So think like
especially for like a G team, the rest of the community that are going to travel to English Nationals will. The community that are going to travel to Scottish Nationals will, and the GT, the actual GT event this year. To be honest,
Gary Morgan said he's got to go to Scotland now.
The ones that are going to go to it. The ones that are going to go to it will. I think everybody on the circuit this year are going. No, since the announcement's been out, are going. Here's the swan song. Enjoy it. And I think that helped with the atmosphere even more. Yeah, even more than usual because we're all going. Oops, well that happened.
If you compare to where we was as a community when V2 first launched, when our podcast was first launched, and we were getting fucking shit posts and death threats in the mail every single day about you fucking Juggers ruining the game, blah 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 blah, and you come through to what was that. The Welsh Nationals, which was just a giant celebration, all things bolt action. Everyone was nice, everyone was friendly, and there was nothing bad to say about anyone. Everyone was on their best behaviour, everyone was in the best mood. The amount of people who came up to us and said it was brilliant. Yeah. I have no idea who any of you are, I'm sorry, but I loved it all the same.
No, I do appreciate that your mum has stopped sending us those death threats. So
weird, weird.
Yeah, that was really weird from it. Yeah.
Stop calling Toph names. What do you mean?
And Spurlie had that random stealth person who just ran up to him and said, game 3, what was it? Yeah,
just came up to me and said, "I love the podcast. I love what you do. Don't change anything." And then he disappeared. He wasn't part of the.
It must have been a local guy from Cardiff, just turned to Firestorm, saw who was up there, came saying hi, and then fucked off.
So if you're here,
hi.
Well, the thing is.
Yeah, give it a shout on the chat, and
yeah.
The thing is, right? 2 of my games, I had kind of, playing you guys. Let's go, and I'm like, they're genuinely excited. They're like, it's gonna be a tough game, but it's exciting. It's like, okay, what the hell?
My first game was like that. I played Charlie from this Warlords, is it?
Yeah,
he's big as lad. Yeah,
he said, "Oh fucking hell, I've got you, have I?" And he said, "All the way up, we've been reviewing your list in the car because it's the one I'm terrified of." And he's like, "It's a pleasure to meet you, mate, but this is not going to go well."
Yeah.
Oh, Pegasus
Yeah,
Warlords, or as we also call them, the Juggernaut Academy. So
yeah, the academy. Yeah, it is the academy. It is the academy. Did you know that Alex is now graduated? And he's now a fully fledged jugger.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you read Felix's,
according to the internet. Yeah.
According to the internet. According to the internet, we've got a German branch. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. People sign up to events and call themselves juggernauts now. What? Man, I didn't sign off on that.
Hey,
No.
imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah, I'll take. I to this day, I cannot get used to people knowing me when I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Do you
And
know
it's
what I
just
mean?
weird. People come up to you
It's
and they're
very
like,
weird.
I can't remember your name. This is embarrassing.
I was like my very first game I was playing against Bryn, who's a lovely chap, brilliant. If you're listening, sup bro, love that game. And he's like, "You alright, Toph?" Like, yeah, Toph, yeah. And I was like, "I've never told you my name. This is fucking weird." I wasn't even wearing my jugger shot. He just recognised this fucking noggin. Do you know what I mean? It's weird, man. It's weird.
I didn't wear my jugger
shirt.
shirt all Saturday because I was there like, I'm confident what I've got. This will do.
Yeah.
And I think it was game 3. Paul turned around and went, "Oh, how you doing, Pete?" And I'm there like, "I have forgotten your name."
I do think though, especially after having gone to Megatron and playing the Blood Bowl lot.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful. But that fucking beats Spurlie, Jesus Christ. I can't be more thankful for the community we have in Bot Action. The Bot Action community is so nice and so friendly and so lovely compared to other game systems out there. So
I call it grown up.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, we're fucking immature as shit. To a point, but it's friendly.
We're grown up men playing with toy soldiers. That's where we're at.
It's friendly, it's welcoming, and as long as you're prepared to come up to an event and go, "I'm going to lose, but I'm going to learn," you'll have the most fun coming to Bolt Action. So if you've never been to a Bolt Action event before, ever, it's probably a bit late to start now because of V2 and V3.
Oh no, start now.
Yeah, but what I mean is when
V2, you can't go wrong. Go and lose all your games, enjoy it.
That's true.
Fun.
When V3 drops, please come and join him. Please.
Yeah. Join in. Watch us all get confused as the wording's probably changed for one thing minuscule that makes everything change, and we're all going, "Oh god."
And Welsh Nationals was so stacked, man. There were so many good players there.
Yeah.
So many good players.
I was looking when I looked at the table, I looked at the people above me and I went, "There ain't much room up there. Holy shit!"
And it was fucking close. It was fucking the top 10. There was only like a couple of like points.
It was just secondaries in it for most of them.
Yeah, it was good to see. I played some fucking hard games there. It was fuck's sake, Spurlie.
Oh, I hope Felix is enjoying this.
He will. He will be.
From a personal standpoint, I hadn't. The last event I played was that themed winter one at Rebel Base.
Oh, Rebel Creek.
Yeah, with Spurlie months ago. And the last time I'd actually played competitive Bolt Action was probably Megatron, which was last September. So for me, it was very much a swan song, you know, a world tour to finalise your career kind of thing. Yeah, it's like your goodbye tour, isn't it? So all the best players were there, and for me it was just one last chance to go out, compete against the best players, and prove how good you are. So the event was brilliant. Everyone was really nice. The games were really hard. There was some old players there that were still really good. There were some new players that had come onto the scene that gave good accounts of themselves as well. And it was really good. And for me personally, it was just really good to be able to not do anything for ages and then come back to the event and play against some of the best players in the world and still come out on top to just prove to yourself that you've still got it.
We did say, didn't we, when it would be fate and karma that you and I would be playing on the top table
Yeah.
At the top table for the win of the national championship, right at the end. And of course, it's a shame that I got fucked over, but like, there's no one else I'd rather be fucked over by. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you go, mate. You enjoy it.
It's like game 2, Toph. I was there like, if I beat Toph, then I'm on for like podium because I must be on a streak. If I don't, then fuck me, I'm back down here.
I tried my very best, Pete. And if it wasn't for Dan, I'd have fucking done it too. But you know,
sometimes, mate, Daddy just has to come out and put the kids back.
As I said last episode, I keep saying I'm the world's best number 2. I'll take that. The world's best in number 2. Yeah, the number 2 abort action, the biggest 2 ever.
In reality, though, I don't want to blow our own trumpets, but me and Toph are the best 2 players in the world. You know, that is a fact, isn't it? Really?
Fucking just there's that guy at WTC who scored higher than me. Just saying. Travis schedule.
Yeah, you've got to do it consistently over lots of events, and when we turn up to tournaments, mate, people do worry. No one wants to see me and Toph at events because that means that just has massively decreased their options.
It depends on the list. People don't mind, but when they look at your list and go, that's a competitive list, there's something going, it's hard work. If they look at your list and go, he's here for a chill, whatever.
I have to apologise to the lovely Fourth Planet Games at Wrexham, who I've been quite known to turn up with my chill list and do nasty things with my.
Hey, I only turned up there once with a bunch of Rangers. Like, you were being mean.
Yeah. We got 2 tigers.
Didn't you recce tiger them last time as well?
Wrexham. Yes. I have recce tigers at Wrexham. Yeah. No, you can do it again.
No, you recce tigered 7th City.
Well, that was 7th City. I recce tigered. Yeah.
You took your French when me and you went to Wrexham.
That was it.
I took the 2 Mark 4s.
Yeah, we World War One it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, I still remember that Milton Keynes day where me and you played starter boxes. Toph. What's your army? It's shit, mate.
Yeah. Maybe Dan has a point. I need to stop just going and beating up little kiddie events. Do you know what I mean? That's my secret. Well, if you go to an event where only 4 people go to.
Yeah, but you say that, but if you can't do it on the big stage, then you're just a little twat. But when you go to GTs, you know, that last round, you were on 4 wins and I was on 3 and a draw, and it literally came down to that one match for the championship.
Well, it was 3 and a draw, but we were both top.
3 and a draw. But me and you were the 2 top players. So it was nice and it was poetry that it was the 2 juggers fighting for the last event of V2 that matters, you know?
Yeah.
It was
we'll get into it. We'll get into it, right? But we'll get into it, right? But it was wide open still on that final game. If you 2 had drawn, you'd have opened the field up.
We would have never drawn.
You wouldn't. You'd have been fighting for the win all the way through. I know that. But if somehow you just swung to a draw, it would have opened the field up.
I will happily get my arse blasted by Dan every day of the week, but I would not fucking draw to him in a GT final. That is not a thing. No.
Also, before we move on to the stats part of the show as well, I just want to say this is a shout out to, or not a shout out, sorry, this is a call out to Russell Wright. My grandmother is Welsh, mate. So if you could get me that Welsh Championship plaque and send it to me in the post, that'd be grand, because I'm the Welsh champion, not you.
Oh God, no.
Just saying, mate. You know, I'll cover postage. That's fine. I'll cover postage. That belongs to me.
You could have actually put down that to Reese that you were, because you've not represented England, have you?
Being Welsh was. I didn't know what.
He has represented England at the WTC.
No, not in the last 12 months.
No. Actually,
I used to play for Ireland, mate. Things change.
Jack Grealish used to play for Ireland.
I've got a German grandparent, so I'm going to go and join the German team if that's all right. I'll see you boys later. Yeah. Right, I'm giving 5 for atmosphere, as I think we all are. What's the scores on the doors, man? Someone do quick Toph maths.
11.
Toph maths, there's 49.5 out of 12.
27. 27.
27. Is that out of 35?
Oh no, hold on. It's more than that. It's more than that.
Oh.
30. 30.
30 out of 35.
Yeah.
Fucking can't argue with that, mate.
5 times 4 plus 3 plus 4.5 plus 2.5.
The second 2.5. Wait a minute, this is why we shouldn't do things live. 5 plus 4.5 plus 2.5.
Have
plus
I put the
5
wrong
plus
score down
2.5
for missions?
plus 5.
I might have written the wrong score down.
Hang on, where's this 2.5 come from?
Yeah,
we
get
got
rid
one
of-
for missions.
In parts.
Terrain. No, terrain was a 3, Spurlie.
I didn't write that one.
Look,
look at the
Wasn't,
name.
it was
Oh
2.5.
God.
Toph, terrain was a 3.
I fucking know, man.
Let's just say,
Toph maths.
well done,
Mate,
Reese.
I'm just here to drink. I'm just
Yeah.
here to drink, talk ball action, and suck me and Dan's dick. That's
thought you
literally
were gonna talk
all
ball.
I'm here for, and I'm all out of dick. So,
Right,
I'm pretty
no,
sure
you're not.
Dan's got more.
right.
no, mate, it didn't take me long
On
to get
that
to the
note-
end. Fucking hell, man. No, you've already done your
Stats,
transition.
stats,
It's my
stats.
turn to do a transition. You ready?
There's Ben.
Yeah, I need to say, guys, go and watch Kung Fu Panda 4. It hits far harder than it has any right of doing. And if you ain't got time for that, go on YouTube and Google Tenacious D, Hit Me Baby One More Time. It's the best fucking cover you've ever heard in your life.
They're
One more
touring right
time.
now. They might go on tour.
They're actually playing in Nottingham on Sunday night.
Oh, man.
Hashtag just saying. I know, right?
Yeah.
I haven't got tickets, but God, I fucking wish I had, mate. That'd be wicked.
Yeah.
Can I just say,
Are there tickets left?
No.
man,
No.
Jack Black's amazing. Jack, like, how heartwarming is Jack Black? May I just say?
Oh, he's just living his life. The man can sing and play music, and he's living his life. He's loving it.
He strikes me
He can
as
act.
an orc. He's an orc player who would scream "Wah" at the top of his voice, and yet it wouldn't be annoying.
I'd liken it to the,
It's very-
you know, the I can't remember the name of the song, the Led Zeppelin song.
Narrow it
pass.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's more than 2 of them, so...
There's
yeah,
at least
Hold
3,
on.
I think.
Hold on, I'm using the power of Google.
Oh, fuck it.
Right. Championship
Yeah, I know.
table.
Stats. Immigrant song. I liken it to the in that.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. What we're looking at, Spurlie?
So we've got the table with strength of
stats.
schedule.
Strength of schedule.
Yeah, so lower the score,
Oh.
harder the route.
Okay. So you got so on the left hand side you got place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Dan at the top, and then you got the nation, the name, the nation, and then SOS. I'm assuming that's strength of schedule, and lower the better.
Yeah, so Dan
Yeah.
actually had an easy
you're-
ride. You know,
So you're telling me with my 50,
you had the
I
hardest
had
route.
the hardest.
Yeah,
And with 51, Gary Morgan had the second hardest route.
yeah.
Well,
I'll
Toph
take
did
that.
have 3 of the top 11, including the player that finished first. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know what, Toph?
Pretty hard.
That would have been
Yeah.
even lower had I placed more than 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had 4th and 6th. 10. Oh no, I had 10 of 3 out of the top 10 as well.
Yeah.
So the one that really, like, when you look down the list, that's really surprising, it's actually Ben Smith in 40th, who scored a 99.
Oh,
So
he had a harder
You know,
strength of schedule than I did.
He had a hard
he had
time.
the same
Yeah.
strength of schedule as Russell, and Russell came
Oh, number
second.
2. Jesus.
Yeah. So
It's times like this where
Yeah.
where you're reminded, like, if you're gonna lose a game, lose it round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just work your way back up again. Yeah.
the player with the easiest route to 32nd was Sally. I like to think that I helped in that with my 46 points that I gave her.
She's
So-
just smashing noobs left, right, and centre, man. Just like fuck you.
That's it, with a
Scored
triple.
rolling sixes.
She's got double Nebels and the Panzerwerfer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Double
Triple
Gewehr
rolling
snipers.
sixes.
It was almost like a list I would have run. So,
Unless you wanted to run.
See,
I
I
might have run
love
it if
what-
I hadn't dropped my Germans a few months ago, and then I've not looked in the box since. Because if I don't look in the box, they're not broken.
They're not broken.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's army.
Yeah.
I just love watching, like, looking at strength of schedule, and I hope that if for those listening on the podcast, like, watch this on YouTube so you can actually see the slides, because it makes such a difference to like, obviously first through 50 seconds, cool, everyone's ranked wicked, but the strength of schedule tells so much more of a story of what people had to do to get there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, I'm on 50 in 6th place, so I had the hardest route to get there. And Manuel, who's one step ahead of me, his strength is 110. That's more than double my own strength.
But then you've got
like,
Chris.
we were playing different fucking players.
Chris
you know
in
what I mean?
third, 155.
155. Yeah, man.
And that,
And it just makes you think.
That's the power of submarining, because
Yeah.
I
as
haven't
well.
seen it yet. I guarantee Chris might have lost his first game and then come back up.
That as
and
well,
that's
though,
why he's 155.
you've got the power of the secondary as well. So you could have lost
Yeah.
games, but with those secondary primary points,
Because the
it
only
boosts you
the
up.
games I drew, and lost were on rounds 4 and 5 respectively. So for the first day, the first 3 rounds, I'd literally
Nailed the
been at
top.
the top and sat at the top the whole of the first day. Yeah. So I
And then
obviously
you
had to
then you
maintain
Tottenham'd it. Tottenham did
Yeah.
the second day.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting, though.
Chris, if you want to know what happened,
For reference here though, 130, I believe it is the average strength of schedule, which means you have played the person in 26th 5 times, which is exactly the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So Chris Davies finishing on 155 in third means he's just played 5 people that have finished in the 30s, essentially.
Or
Or he'll have played 4 knobheads and then 1 real top player.
or he's lost his first one against top player
He
and
drew.
then come all the way back up. Drew, right? Yeah.
Chris was an undefeated player.
Yeah, so he's drawn his first game, sunk into the upper mid table, and then beaten the upper mid table all weekend.
Yeah, but we're not on to undefeated.
Which means
players
yeah,
yet.
when your name is Ben Smith and you came 40th and you got strength of schedule of 99,
Yeah.
don't feel bad for being that far down the table, because mate, you've had a hard weekend, man. You've been punished.
You've had a tough life
Oh.
there.
Yeah.
Then we move on to unit stats.
Yeah, some unit stats here.
Unit
Can I thank Toph for feeding me 48 of my 49 dice kills?
Right. Weren't that many, was it?
Pete,
No,
Pete,
it
where
was
are
only
you?
13,
You're-
12 or 13 when in the end.
Pete, you're missing
Yeah.
off this.
It just seemed like 48.
I am missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of us made it into the top 5.
No.
Yeah,
So
the top 6.
I
But,
honestly
you know,
think
you've not made it
mine's
on
wrong
there.
because I worked it out and I think it was just put in wrong. But you can't blame the TO with the system he was using because it's a head fuck.
I just mean like
Kudos to Nick Murray, who got 67 units lost. He was the only Japanese player on the weekend.
Oh,
Wow, love it. Yeah, but if you're not sending wave after wave of your own men to like death, are you even a Japanese player? Like, this guy
Playing historically, mate. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Playing to the theme.
Yeah. Nick, if you're watching,
he
Andy
is.
Bamboo, mate.
He's in the
Andy
chat,
Bamboo.
mate.
Because
He's in the chat.
if you had the,
it's in the chat.
you might have fucked off people. Turn this thing off
I'm talking
all the
right
time.
now. He's messaging us right now.
How many bamboo? Because if he's got 45 bamboo, it makes sense that he's lost 1 million of them because they've just been sent to their deaths.
Oh, well, I'll have a look
I
at
also-
that. I can sort that out for you. How many bamboos?
For example, I kept a tracker, and I've still got the bit of paper with it of the dice I was killing over the weekend, and I got 48.
Nick, does,
Yeah.
Nick,
So yeah, you're
Nick
off.
did
I took
say
17 off of Spurlie. Thank you, Spurlie.
3 of those deaths
Yeah.
were suicide bombers taking out Dacus Turks, which that's a positive, right?
That's a
That
1
should
for
be
1
really-
though.
he was on
That shouldn't be.
4.
Yeah.
We'll give him 64 lost. That's still the
64,
worst
64.
record.
I mean, if he's got, let's be honest, let's put it this way: if he's got 3 suiciders, right, times out by the amount of games, that's 5. So that's 15 that he's just giving away for fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, the auto caption capture just it just read Dacus Stewart's as Dacus Toots, which is now my Dacus Toots, which is now my favourite.
Yeah. But again, I would like to point out, and this is from a WTC kind of England point of view, Alex, Johnny, Toph, and I don't know which country Charlie qualifies for, but that is a nuts. That is a nuts amount of dice skills. You've got
Saturday
Manuel in
night-
there with a lot of dice skills.
Yeah. Based on Saturday night, he won't qualify for America.
I mean, so it's the stats on average what for Manuel, Johnny, Charlie, Dan, and me, that's averaging 10 kills a game, which I think is unreasonable for a game you've won, because they're all people that have scored relatively high at the table.
And Alex is there averaging far more.
Yeah.
Alex is 67 though.
It's 12 a game, innit?
12 a game. That being said, though, I know Alex was taking a variant of my Polish Lancer list. And unlike me, he has absolutely no chill and will always charge first at the very first opportunity and then get his butt handed to him because he has absolutely no restraint, which probably leads to more kills. But
So
also,
it's 13 a game. More than 13 dice a game.
13 game, yeah.
So I'm gonna shout out Johnny Curran here, who is perfectly balanced in all ways. He killed 50 units. He lost 50 units.
He's on both lists. He was attempting this in the second game when he played me, because he played Gary Morgan in the first game, got a bit of a whooping, and then he turned around and gave that to me. But thankfully, I managed to charge and kill something and stop him getting to a flat 0 round 2. But he managed it by the end of the Sunday, so it's impressive. It is impressive.
Spurlie, why are you so shit anyway?
Because we went to an event with good people. Like we were just saying.
I'm just going to throw it out there. You see that 53?
Yeah.
You see that 53 that he had? I'm 17 of those.
Yeah. You're 17 of them.
Yeah.
I think
our game ended 17-3 to me.
You're 17. I think Johnny was 18.
Yeah. Most of your dice have been lost.
Most of my dice were in the first 2 games.
So there we go. Nation percentages. So what is that? Britain, USSR, Germany, and USA are the top 2/3.
Yeah.
There's a lot more US lists than I thought there might be because they've been waning recently, but their 6 is still quite a good match.
Yeah, so not everything's on there.
Britain's always going to be loads.
When you get down
Britain's always good.
Yeah, you get France, Hungary, and then down in the little spots you've got 1 Finnish, 1 Romanian, 1 Partisans, 1 Polish, 1 Dutch, and 1 Japanese.
Yeah. I'm looking at the top 10. Yeah, British and Soviet making a good showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, like we noticed at the WTC, the Soviet stuff are out of the top 5. Like the Soviet ones hanging around are decent players on them. Like it's not a grab and go anymore.
I wonder how much of a difference that prep bombardment over 2 missions made.
I will say the British list. If I was if I was thinking about it again and I was like, actually, I'm going to try and win this, I'd have just brought a British army because prep over for 2 scenarios is nuts.
Yeah. Prep bombardment's too strong.
Yeah, this chart is everything that's wrong with bolt action BT, isn't it? Because you look at that and you think, oh look, nearly 50% Soviet and British players. What a surprise! And the armies are identical as well. They're both the same. They're both
not even
with Stuarts and dudes inside the Brens.
Not even that.
A variant.
I would venture you also lump the US in with that because the US ones will majority be double Stuarts and flavour. And the British will be double Stuarts with flavour. USSR will be double Stuarts with flavour. The ones that haven't got double Stuarts will have something like Toph had, which was double Lees with flavour. It's just.
As we discussed like last episode, my list was two Lees and a load of shit to kill. Stuarts, Engineers, Gurkhas. It was specifically tooled and designed to kill the meta list. And the only time it failed to do that was when it played Dan's army that was very much not meta because there's a horde of French infantrymen. I just had to kill them all.
I'll let you all on a little secret. My army list, I designed it specifically to kill the meta list because I knew I would play it 5 times and I played it 4.
Likewise, yeah. And there you go. And I think the proof's in the pudding there. When you know that 50% of all lists will probably contain double Stuarts at the very least, it kind of influences your thinking, let's be honest. It should influence your thinking.
Yeah, when you're at an event this big and this prestigious, you know people are going to bring their strongest list to try and win, which is British and Soviets. So, for me, I know that I can beat all of those players by taking this list. all I have to do is get through the first round. Because as soon as you get through your first random matchup where you could be playing Finnish or Germans or whatever, I got through that first list, which, surprise, surprise, happened to be Americans with double Stuarts. And then guess what? It was British. So it's...
this kind of shows, if nothing else, exactly why V3 is needed.
Yeah.
Because this has been the story for a long time. The fact that none of us are surprised at all.
Yeah.
And the fact that we know exactly what's coming to the point where we can design this around specifically knowing exactly what's coming and beating that thing.
Yeah.
It is a bit stale.
Yeah, well, actually losing games pulls you back into the stuff that you don't expect. But so, I played against some Soviets, Spurlie's ones, did well. Then jumped into some British, and it was Toph and got ran over, my own fault. Then jumped back into a US list that I beat. Come back up and played the Manuel's Hungary list. That was a very close game, but I lost to it. And then come back, and then upper mid table, I'm sat and looking at a British list. I'm like, oh, what a surprise,
Yeah.
Like it's not nothing against the players. It's just where V2 is at the moment.
So
if you allow British all of their toys, they will run through most lists.
Yeah, I played Soviet, US, armored Hungarians, US, and then French. So yeah, it's all your 8+ Dagestan units with flamethrowers, except Dan's list. Which, guess what?
That's the one. Dudes and howitzers, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the anti-meta list, right? Because my list wasn't geared to kill hordes; it was geared to kill elites.
Yeah. And you look at the bottom 10, for example, is exactly what you'd expect from V2 at the moment. Germans, Italians, Australians, couple US lists, and
do we know what
British list in there that's probably a little jankier compared to everything else.
With those Italians, do we know using the new Case Blue rules or using the book?
Justin was using Case Blue.
Okay.
I played Justin in my last game.
Case Blue's great. Fucking hell, Justin, step up. Come on, man. You're making
it's because all of these Italian players have had to play with being crap. They're not used to being good. And now just as it got good, the addition's over.
But come talk to me. I can teach you how to be good. It's a mindset thing.
Right.
Mindset bullshit.
Yeah, take advice from the person who finished 6th.
Yeah.
Mate,
I'll just go to the one that finished first.
Fucking call me Icarus. I've clearly flied too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Right. Now.
On the next slide, what a surprise.
Win rates. So this is across the entire event. So 31%, not 31%, sorry. 31 games were won by Britain. They had the most lists. They had the highest win percentage. Makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm assuming if you add all these percentages together, it comes to like 40 or 50, of which like the total win rate of all games.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you'd have like 40% wins, 20% draws, 40% losses, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and the vast majority of those wins are British.
Yes, that's 23% of all the wins at the event were by British players.
Yeah.
I mean, they were also the biggest.
Yeah,
it's hard to. They were also the biggest nation, so...
Yeah.
But, it could show you something really janky where if the British didn't get the most wins at the event, you go in, oh, hang on. If it's 25% of the field, but it's not at the top.
Well, it's good to show that France is so stacked above when there was only 2 France players because one of them was Dan.
One of us got 4 wins out of 5.
The other one got 2, It's like the US list. The US one, I got 2 of those wins, and I think Gary might have been playing US as well. So there was a few people playing US that were really just racking some wins.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at this and you're still thinking that British and prep bombardment's not an issue, I don't know what else to tell you. Like,
let's just say first mission being prep bombardment, I was very glad I was playing Soviets, because if I was playing British, I'd have just been sad.
I'm glad that I rolled a 1 with my opponent.
No, I watched that. You rolled a 1.
Game 1. We all heard it. It was.
Yeah.
Well, mine managed to take out a Katusha, so like.
Yeah. Well, neither
it's the kind of thing where
didn't care.
It's the kind of thing where if we're playing it, if it's in there, I'll play it anyway, because I might get a cheeky kill.
I feel bad for the 1 Romanian win.
Oh,
that's bad, man.
Yeah. However, shout out to Nick Murray that all of the Japanese 2 wins.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. responsible for all of them.
Best guy, Nick Murray. Best guy. Good guy.
Same with the Partisans was one player. The Netherlands was one player. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
here we go. Percentages. So interesting that the Great Britain's only got a 47.69% win rate.
Yeah.
So even though they're the most popular,
everyone takes them, even players.
We're in the UK. Everybody's got a Britain army. Everybody.
I don't.
Oh my god, Italy with the 13% win rate. Oh my god. That's awful.
The US is at 36%, and I'd say the US is a noob-friendly nation.
Yeah. You can tell France and Hungary are with their 60% win rates, are heavily influenced by like one or two players, let's say, rather than entirely representative of the nation hub. Yeah,
like Finland, Poland, Netherlands. Look at those players go, and that Polish player took the most dice of everybody.
Mate, I heard the Toph that was rolling Polish was a pretty good looking guy. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I mean, he wasn't used for a start, so yeah.
There's multiple Tophs. Toph's a title you just get given now, apparently.
He had better bants, that's for sure.
Completed bingo.
He doesn't have the same smooth skill pie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Again, single partisan player still managed to pull 2 wins.
But here we go. Yeah.
So I'm so good. I don't know. I'd love to do a partisan army, but like
I would also.
I'm painting orcs now, and I can't do it again.
All win rates.
Yeah. So
wow! Look at that.
Undefeated players across the whole event.
This is where you like strength of schedule. Because you look at that and you think, oh wow, 3 players on 4 wins and a draw. Yeah, but one of those players was near middling on his strength of schedule, and one of them was basically dick kicking noobs for 4 matches. So that's where strength of schedule. This player has had the hardest go out of the top 3, or this person, like Felix there, for instance. You think 3 wins and 2 draws to get into 4th. Okay, that's not amazing, but Felix's strength of schedule was really, really good. I think it was lower than my score.
Felix
did really want to get there.
Strength of schedule, he had 75. So
yeah, mine was 77, 78, something like that.
Third. His strength of schedule was the 3rd hardest.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Phil, but how do you fucking draw 3 games out of 5?
Because it's Heartbreak Ridge that's asking for draws. It's Seas Brown that's asking for draws.
He brought
it's 2 missions asking for draws. They're begging for them.
Just throw a game, dude. You know what I mean? Just vary it up.
He brought 10, not snipers, but they are snipers, marksmen.
The Mackie.
He brought 6-man Mackie squad with a marksman in every one of them. So
we just killed everyone's teams. Killed everyone's teams. Couldn't actually take an objective though to save us.
Or you wind Spurlie up and kill everybody's NCOs.
Yeah,
that's weird. Just the concept of someone being 16th yet still going undefeated. That's so weird, man.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
Yeah, but that could also be 2 wins, 3 draws, and like 5 or 6, 3 or 4 secondaries, or 5.
Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Right, let's look into some list stats now coming up. Starting off with dice counts.
How many Stewarts?
Starting off with dice counts.
All of them.
Dice counts?
Yeah.
I reckon the average dice count was about 18.
18, 19, yeah. 19, 20. There you go. I like how there's a bit of a duck. So you've got more people around 17, 18, that kind of zone. And then you have a bit
I was on 17, but...
Yeah, I was on 16, and it comes back up for a massive spike, back up to 20.
28?
That was Felix, wasn't it?
No, Felix had 27.
28 was Phil Parker with the Partisans.
Well, that's where all his draws came from. He's got 28 dice.
Yeah. So your average dice count was 18.65.
Jesus.
That was your average.
I had 17, but I was running veteran infantry. I'm not good enough with the US to run regs, so...
I mean, at 1250, that does make...
Yeah.
It's what I would expect for a 1250 event.
It's bad control.
1250 event. Yeah.
It's bad control, because even though I had 17, I was up against people with like 23, 24 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, not 24, but 23 around there. And I was there going, you know what? I'll wait for you to move, because I ain't going to be able to dictate play right now.
I had down dice count in every game other than against Johnny, because Johnny had 23 and I had 20.
Yeah, I had 16, and I did feel the dice bag was against me in more games than I would like to admit.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
It's a weird way of playing where you got to wait for them, innit?
But that's what you get for bringing 8+ armored vehicles. I know my pain. Like, I paid that price, that's fine. But, yeah, it's very pronounced. Yeah, interesting.
I very much enjoyed having 25 order dice.
Yeah.
Of course you did. Look at all my dudes.
Yeah, but after turn 1, it was one of those things like with my American list, you've always got something. You could always rely on getting one of the first 2 dice or 2 of the first 3 dice, and you can just go, well, I'm
and that's what fucked me on day 2, was that there was at least both games, there was at least one moment where I could have done with like maybe one of the first 3 dice out, and like my opponent, you included Dan, had like the first 8 out, and at that point it's like, we're playing a game of 40k. You can't come back from that.
One of my games was against Paul Jones, the British player, not Paul Jones, the other player, because there was 2 Paul Joneses. And in turn 3 or 4, it was the case where I had like 20, about 14, something like that. And I picked out 1 dice, killed a unit, so he took another one out, and then the ratio, another unit, and then it.
Dan.
Yeah, so in these gaps where you can't hear what Dan's actually saying, just make up your own
Dan.
ideas.
Oh, fuck off, Dan.
That mic needs to go from here to here.
Yeah, you've been shit this whole episode.
No, it's not even. It's not the mic position. He keeps actually cutting out. It's the headset.
Well, no, it's because the mic's off to the side. He's not talking at the mic, so the mic's.
No, I am.
God damn! What is this sort of fucking tin pot podcast, man? Why don't you just get good?
But
look, my washing machine's done now.
I know it's shy.
Love it.
So,
No.
yeah, dice counts. On to the barbecue equipment. So
Now the flamethrowers.
Yeah.
I brought 2.
I had 2 as well.
I didn't bring any, actually. It wasn't actually until I got there and I was like...
There was a lot of lists
I've
with
got
none.
no flamethrowers. Got no flamethrowers.
I mean, I'm impressed at the amount that had 12 lists had 0 flamethrowers. That's that is shocking.
Well, 15 of them had basically gone, well, I'm going to take a flamethrower, sniper, mortar. I guarantee it.
I am surprised it's not more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the average must come around like 1 and a bit, 1.5 maybe.
Well, I played against the list with 5, and so did you, Toph. So
yeah, Manuel had 5 of them. Yeah.
Your average
there was
is
one there was
1.71.
7.
Yeah. 7. That was so Phil Parker did the 10 snipers, and his dad, Mike Parker, went with 7 flamethrowers. 2 of them. 2 PPA jeeps.
See, I would expect more. Do you think this is because, like, this level of the game, when it was that competitive, that flamethrowers aren't the auto-click I win button because players know how to get around them?
Yeah.
I will tell you now, I had 2 flamethrowers, 1 in an engineer squad and one just a flamethrower team in a jeep. That flamethrower in a team in a jeep was useful 1 game. And then because you go, here it comes, and everybody goes, yeah, we know what that does.
Yeah,
whereas the engineer squad get out and go, oh, we're going to get rid of it, and then they're still standing going, no, I'm still here.
Yeah, I had 2 engineer squads in Brands, and they were very much just kind of a backup. They're there if you need them kind of thing.
That baffled me during my game. I'm like, get out and burn me, and you're like, nah, wait.
No, for most of my games, I just sat there shooting shit, because I knew if I got out, that was just going to give you an easy target to shoot and kill, so instead I would just sit there and stack of stuff with the guns, and then if I felt the need to get out, maybe, but I didn't feel like I needed them.
Yeah, I had 2. I had 2 flamethrowers, and I think I shot 3 3 times with flamers across the weekend.
Mm.
They never got out of the truck.
I guess it's just a psychological thing. It's like they're here.
Yeah.
Beware of them. Whilst they're there, that you have to think about them.
Yeah, I think it's just people know when you say that's an engineer squad, and you go, okay, well it's a flamer. I'll stay 12 away from it. And they're easy to plan against. I don't think barbecue lists are the good for 3 wins that they used to be.
No, not. It depends on your crowd. I will say it depends on your crowd. With the tight crowd we had, you look at it, flamethrower going, I just won't engage it. I'll kill everything around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny's Soviet list, which was very similar to his US list, that got him 3 wins with 6 flamethrowers. So
nice. Good for 3. Well, to be fair, I had 2 flamethrowers and I was good for 3 wins. So
I wasn't good for I wasn't good for 3 wins, but I had 2 flamethrowers.
Yeah, interesting.
So next up,
it becomes a little bit of a hindrance.
I think it's one of those things where 2's a sweet spot, and I think once you go with more than 2, you're kind of over-investing in them probably at this point. I think 2's good as like a security blanket. Yeah.
It becomes a bit of a problem for me because everybody knows how they're going, and it's a pressure to get this unit used. Otherwise, it's a waste. And I was looking at my flamethrower in a Jeep, going, "Mate, I'd have preferred just another bloody squad to shoot stuff with."
Yeah.
Well, I took double snipers specifically because I thought there would be more flamethrowers, and it would be better for me to snipe them out rather than dealing with them.
So
Oh, multi launches. I had 1.
Bo's favourite slide. This is what.
Was there only 1? No, there was more than 1 list with 3.
So I had none, but
there was more than 1 list with 3 because there was Sally and Manuel.
I was going to say, but Manuel only had. Yeah. That's Manuel.
He had 2 Nebelwerfers.
I probably missed that.
2 of the Hungarian Nebelwerfer things and a Panzerwerfer.
I've probably missed that in whatever the random stupid names are for the Hungarian.
I played a lot of multi-launchers over the weekend. A lot of them. So whilst I think, clearly there was 36 people didn't bring one at all, and there were 10 brought 1. I've got a feeling that the top of the table was quite stacked with multi-launchers, to be fair.
Well, just ask me how many times I went down to a multi-launcher all weekend. None.
Well, you
don't go down to them. You just accept your fate. They're trying to make you go down. Don't do it.
But I spoke about this when we did the WTC review. Like, I don't think they're good choices that you take because you're expecting to do something, but they're such blatantly good kind of, fuck it, I'll spend 50 points just to piss you off kind of investments.
Whoa.
And I really...
That's all I did, 52 points to fuck with
You said Manuel had 3 multi-launchers.
Right.
Yeah.
Not according to his list.
2 Hungarian ones. 2 Hungarian ones and a Panzerwerfer.
And a Panther Panzerwerfer, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I think it's the 40M Zora.
I've found
it.
It's because he had to put it in a separate platoon.
Yeah.
It's I missed
but he had 3 of them, and I'll tell you what, on the board we were on, I was there like, I can move into the open and get shot by Iraqi tanks, or I can stand here and just pray you don't roll a 6.
I think a lot of it, the fact that 36 of the list didn't have one, is the fact that in the pack they didn't allow British to take the land mattress.
Good.
So every one of those British lists didn't have one. And as a British player, I fucking missed it because I would have very much loved to have a multi-launcher just to keep people honest when they were bringing 28 dice lists. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been nice to be like, spread the fuck out, which I wasn't.
I've swiftly changed my mind since the WTC. That giving the Brits a multi-launcher as well, get in the bin. Get in the bin. It's too strong. You've already got everything else. Get in the bin.
Especially when they've got prep. Yeah, I'll take one or the other.
As a French player that brought 3 howitzers, I would definitely have swapped one for a multi-launcher if I could.
Yeah.
Because it's just you buy the ticket and see what happens, don't you?
Especially
the reason I had one on my list, Dan. I bought the ticket, off we go, and it killed 5 units over the weekend. So
there's one building in their deployment zone. Fuck it, let's make it rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're all swarming. You're swarming on an objective. Let's see what happens. Yeah, and that's what I was missing, particularly in my game against Gary. He had loads of little shitty units just swarming over an objective, and I was like, if I had a multi-launcher, for a start, you wouldn't deploy like that because you'd be terrified of my 6s. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would have been so much easier to make opportunities with. And I guess that is why it needs to fucking change in V3, because multi-launchers are such just an obvious, gambling ticket to buy.
Do you think he banned the British multi-launcher because he was playing so many quarters?
No, I think it's more. I think it's more that the land mattress from the Battleground Europe book is so kind of wishy-washy with its wording about when he can
It
go.
doesn't really say where it goes.
It's
There's
a lot
no
easier.
defined sentence. It's just.
It's a lot easier just to say no than to try and have the debate. Yeah.
So,
I would have liked to land mattresses the US because it's 3 points cheaper.
I think 36 lists without multi-launchers is shocking until you remember that the Brits couldn't take them, and suddenly it all makes sense. And it's more like 10 lists without multi-launchers and 20 odd lists that would if they could.
Of the field is British. That means automatically that nearly 15, 20
13 lists.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah,
here we go. Love it. 50 lists didn't take a single MMG team. Two lists brought one of them. Well, no, two lists brought one.
Oh, one list
and
had two.
no list brought two because no one.
Can I take a guess? I want to take a guess at this. Did Johnny take two?
No, because Johnny was playing Soviets.
Oh.
Johnny had 6 Amplemets alongside his 6 flamethrowers.
Fair enough, yeah.
Good lad.
That's a different kind of lottery you're playing. Oh, you're on fire.
Yeah. So we had
and I'm glad we can finally settle the debate.
There was one in the Soviet list.
They're shit. Yeah. MMG teams are so shit. So shit.
Yeah, this
they
is one
are
of those ones
until
that
you
proves that
rule. You give them a suppression rule and they're useful.
something needs to be done
when
with them. Something, there's fundamentally wrong with that unit.
But people still comment on like the Facebook group going, "Oh, MMG team's good," and there'll always be someone bellend who will come and go, "Oh my god, you just need to deploy them properly." No. Stop kidding yourself.
That proves it.
Awful. Yeah.
So the Soviet one I came up against, sniper, pang, gun.
Yeah. Look at the fucking bar chart, man. Proofs in the pudding. 50 lists went good. And that was
yet when we do that, when we put in the rule we come up with, the suppression rule for it, we suddenly see half the lists have MMGs.
It's about 50%.
He's too strong. We can't have it. He's too strong.
It's a strong hand.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the snipiest of the snipers are up next.
Two snipers, man.
This is a fun bar chart. This is a fun one.
Oh Jesus, 10.
Nothing. 10.
10. Yeah.
See, there was some games where I wasn't using my sniper as a sniper. I was just like, well, if you're not going to give me any targets, I'm going to go find something to shoot with SMGs because I'm the US and I can do that.
I tend to find because not a lot of people brought teams. I would always put mine facing their artillery. I would plink off like 2 crew a turn, which when people have got like multi launchers like Howling Cows and stuff, that's actually a lot of kills.
I started winding Manuel up I was shooting a little in X squad all game with him. Out of the 6 shots I made, I killed 5 people. But I was going, no, it's exceptional. I get to choose which man dies, so I'm going to pick that man.
Yeah.
And that man. Like, it didn't really matter, but I was going, that man. And you could see him going,
So we got 21 lists had no snipers, 16 people had 1 sniper, 14 people had 2 snipers, and there was that one legend who had 10 snipers with the partisan marquee unit, which is hilarious. I stand by it, 2 snipers.
Yeah. Flamethrower, sniper, mortar.
Yeah.
Especially at 1250, like at 1,000, one minimum probably if you can get 2 in.
At 1,000, you're looking at 2 regular, 1 veteran.
Yeah,
1250, 2.
My snipers were clutch, so clutch. Even when the opponent had no teams, just to be able to go right, artillery crewman here, or a pin and a Panzerfaust there, man. It was just. Or just being able to forward deploy shit and occupy buildings and go, fuck you, I'm here now.
Yeah.
That in itself is a win.
Area
then just to sit around going down the entire game, and on the last turn you walk an objective and win the game with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Mate, sniper's brilliant.
the thing with my list design was I only need one sniper because I'm going to win the sniper war because I'm going to bum rush them with two squads of rangers and tell them to deal with that.
Yeah,
It didn't happen all the time, but that's why I didn't go with two, because it's like I don't need to.
The only kills I got off Dan at all were from snipers.
Oh,
Yeah, you snipe with my sniper.
Yeah.
Well,
But
what I found really useful with mine is, like, a couple of the games, they had no targets whatsoever. You had no teams at all. But what they were really good at is when my howitzers started hitting and they put pins on stuff, they were reliable sources of hitting them to put the final pin on to pin stuff out the game. You get like a heavy howitzer hit and you get 5 pins on it. A couple of other rifles from your NX squads puts it up to like 8 or 9, and then you just go, right, sniper, pump, there you go. I did that twice to Felix's Shirker units. They were on 3 pins, but you shoot it with a sniper at 4 pins, gone. Twice to him. Worked really well.
My snipers did really well nicking the secondary as well, because you could put them up forward deploying somewhere away from the action near a secondary. Everyone's ignoring them because all their teams anyway. And then last stage, like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
I genuinely think snipers are one of the best units in the game. And I think a lot of people kind of, especially towards the latter half of V2, have kind of like shifted away from them and gone, and I'm like, no, I stand by snipers.
I always take at least one, always.
I at this
and
point in the game.
If I'm taking one at 1250, it's because I've got a solution to killing 2 of them.
Yeah,
you know?
As long as I've got enough anti-tank, I would take snipers over flamethrower teams.
Yeah,
is where I'm at currently.
Well,
if I brought my Japanese, I'd have brought 0 flamethrowers. I'd have just spammed it.
Yeah, I had 2 engineers, and I thought, well, do I want to take 2 flamers as well? Not really, because then you have to buy them jeeps to go with it. So fuck it, just get double.
Yeah, I think if you can win the sniper war, or even better, your opponent doesn't have snipers. Guess what? You can spend the entire game plinking or whatever you want. Yeah. And if they're shooting you, they're hitting you on 7s. So if they want to kill you, they're arranging in mortars, or they're going to have to charge you. And well, guess what? They're not hitting your army. They're fucking wasting their time on 2 50-point sniper units, man. Done.
I mean, one is prime example. Sorry, Spurlie. Prime example was first game. Spurlie went to bum rush my sniper, and instead of firing, I just got out the building I was in and backed off behind it, so he couldn't charge me. And then he's got a unit out in the open. I'm just like, oh,
well, wasn't
juicy.
Just out in the open.
Yeah,
it was out in the open in front of my Zis 3. So then
it was on ambush.
It was just like Pete at the end of the term was just like, I don't have to worry about that. And it was just like, I'm going to trigger my ambush. And he went, are you? And I went, no. Right. And then
another slide?
Yeah, final slide. This is so just to say, this is only armoured cars and tanks, not transports, because they'd have been silly numbers. Only things that's in the armoured car slot or the tank slot.
Wow.
There we go.
Am I the only?
You're the only one with 2 9+s.
Yeah.
No. That's more than one. That's more than 1 9+.
No, that's 2 people.
That's 2 people. Yeah.
So,
was there anyone else? Was there anyone else with 2 9+s and 2 8+s like me?
3 with 2 9+.
Yeah.
3 with 2 9+.
Okay.
Nobody took a 10+ though.
I know there's one other bloke who had a Stewart and a Sherman in the league.
Yeah.
Oh, there was somebody with 7 6+s.
Yeah, that was.
It's Felix, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, because he had the truck with light tank guns on. We had 4.
No, the trucks were transports.
4.
So the bike spam. Peter Burmis, Great Britain. He had 6.
Oh yeah.
He had 6 motorbikes and a what was it? It was a vehicle.
Was it something like a Polestar AA or something?
That's it. Yeah, the AA truck. Yeah. A Bofors AA truck.
Well, I had 4 bikes in my list, and then 17s, man, represent.
FT17 hot
They
proper
did
tanks.
literally nothing all weekend. They were shite.
Told you.
They were one dice that I couldn't fucking take off you. Those FT17s, man.
And
I'll hit them.
one.
I'll hit them in the side with fucking medium AT guns and everything. They're like, nah, I'm good. Whatever. Ooh, I finally got through the armor. Rolled one stunned.
What I did see a lot
did.
of when I was going through the list for these stats was a lot of the 7+ Humbers, not the 8+.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I know I'm weird.
Secret.
I don't think a lot of people have kind of twigged with the whole charging thing yet.
Yeah.
And they won't twig.
Yeah.
V2 ends in September. They won't twig.
And like, especially having an 8 being able to fit in an 8+ vehicle that's worth less than 90 points is massive because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
For what it does and how hard it is to kill.
Absolutely ridiculous,
I'm weird. I'm weird though. I'm weird, but I can at least tell the listeners, 8+ armored vehicles, up and at them to let them charge stuff without having to take a test. It is a beautiful, beautiful combo. And at least at the end of day one, I was well on track for smashing everyone to bits by doing that. It's only because my luck went out on day 2 that it didn't happen. But I think if it was to go back in time and do day 2 again, I could have very easily won that event doing that same tactic. Like,
Spurlie, you're on the wrong side.
What the hell's gone on there?
Because like just having on one of my games, I managed to ran down 2 Neville workers of a Humber in a single action. Because you just you just line up, just do your 2-foot run, and every unit in the way, you just take a leadership test, and hey, look, the artillery, they're automatically destroyed. Pow, 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 It's really strong. And obviously everyone does gear up their list to kill 8+, sure. But there reaches a point where you've just got so much shit they can't deal with it anymore because you've got more answers than they've got anti-tank weapons, If you I've brought 2 dog mines and a Panzerfaust, that'll do me. Not if you come up against 2 Lees of Staghounds and an 8+ Humber.
I'll tell you now, I came up against it with 2 flamethrowers, 2 anti-tank guns on my Stuarts, and a bazooka, and because if you miss or if you hit and don't go through, you're in the shit. And I left the amount of the number of units that got left in the shit was just like, oh, you're in the shit, you're dead.
I just hope that with V3, obviously vehicles are going to get a major look at in terms of stats and points and stuff, as they should do. But I hope they keep that style of list at least somewhat viable because it's real fun to play with.
Yeah.
That M3 Lee is really good. It's always been really good. I'll fire 2 anti-tank bits at this one vehicle, one of them's going to hit.
Yeah, if we have to replace Stuarts with Shermans or Lees with Matildas, whatever, I don't care. But I just like the idea of being able to say, "Here is my armor.
Yeah,
deal with me." It's a fun gameplay mechanic. As I say, Dan only got lucky with my tanks because he literally couldn't roll 6s to save. He couldn't not roll 6s to save his life. Like in a normal situation, he'd have been like, "Well, I'm just going to ignore it because I was
in our game. I was very ready for that Humber to activate and kill both my howitzers in one.
Yeah.
And I was very, very ready for it to happen. It was just that I got the anti-tank rifle at long range in the rear and managed to stun you to put you down. And then I just shot 3 more anti-tank rifles at you that turn.
Because that's what I did with every other opponent, right? Is I would shoot them with a machine gun, put a pin on them, 2 snipers, 2 more pins, Humber runs over, morale chest at -3, instantaneously, bang, unit's gone.
The thing
I lost a
I
Rangers
knew it was coming, but it was really hard for me to stop. I only got lucky with that one server.
And again, the only reason I drew with Gary was because he got the first 5-6 dice out on the turn where I needed to make the charge with the Humber to get onto his objective to contest one of his objectives. And I only needed 1 dice because I would have declared the charge with up and at him. I wouldn't have even needed to take a test. I would have just done it. He wouldn't have been able to stop me. I would have just literally put myself on objectives and say, well, shit, you need to move out the way now. It's literally just almost an iron win button. Fuck you, I'm just going to do it at 1. It's only luck.
Yeah.
Or poor luck on my part, I suppose, and I guess maybe list design by not having enough dice to compete. That in any way stopped them just doing whatever the fuck they wanted. It was only once I reached Gary and he killed his Lee that I was like, dude, you're the first person to have killed a Lee this entire weekend. Because 9+ are really difficult, man, because everyone's gearing up for 8+, and you just go, mate, I'm a 9+.
Well, the thing
It's
is,
so much harder.
the other thing is, right, you wouldn't give your flank to anybody. Like,
No.
I was sneaking for it to try and get it. I think I mobilised your Lee, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Because I got round the back of it.
But
And that was like turn 6, where it's like, fuck it.
But that's just where like the difference between a good list design versus good gameplay comes into it. Because it's all great going, I'm going to bring all of my my tanks and stuff, and I'm going to save points on them being vulnerable. But if you drive around like a fucking battleship showing your sides everywhere, it's going to come up and hit you because they're going to get that +2, that +3 on the side. But if you can play properly to mitigate those flanks, then that's when you're getting quids in. Unless you're playing Dan and he just goes, here's a random anti-tank rifle from the middle of fucking nowhere that just goes ding, 7s to hit, and I killed your tank. In which case, well, fuck you, buddy. But like,
What's the whole
it's what it is. Not that I'm
Megatron. I took the double shamans. I took to Megatron. I took the slightly upgraded one to avoid the vulnerable. I think it's the vulnerable sides, because I realised in practice games I give up my sides far too often.
But I took the 2 Shermans and the Humber as well to Megatron, and it is really well there too, because it's just there's value to having bulk.
Oh man, were you bulky?
Yeah. Interesting though. I mean, good to see at the stats. 8+ is king. It's still king until otherwise. It was nice to see more Lees though. Of those 9. How many? What is it? Like 10, 11, 12, 13, 9+ tanks. I think 2/3 of them were Lees.
Yeah.
It's a good counter to the Stuart. Just saying.
It is brilliant.
Very good counter to the Stuart.
Yeah.
I will say though, the game is also balanced on 9+ tanks, and you look at those charts and realise that ain't nobody taking the 9+ tanks.
It's only Shermans and Lees are the only ones worthwhile. Yeah. Interesting.
So there we go.
There we go. Is that our Welsh Nationals review?
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, boys?
Can I have another one in V3, please?
Yeah.
I'd like some more.
Oh god, yeah. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Well, what was it?
Next year.
30 out of 35 would roll dice at again. So
Yeah. I think if you Welsh Nationals, if you want to go to any bolt action event, the Welsh Nationals as a GT level competitive event is as good as any. Yeah. It's kind of like, that's the real shit. Do you know what I mean?
It's got the pack. It's got the players. It's actually it's easier to get to than Scotland, which is the other one you'd argue's got the pack and the players.
Yeah.
So
just gotta hope English National sorts itself out. You know what I mean?
What isn't there to like about having to take 2 different armies? To the one event and swap between them over the weekend.
We all know Battle of Britain is the true English Nationals. # just saying. Yeah. # tickets still on sale.
Yeah.
Also, it's at the UKGE, so if you book Friday off work and make sure you can get in on Friday, you can look around it Friday.
Yeah, you'll see me, Spurlie and Pete walking around on Friday. Yeah.
We've given you even more time to look around as well between the games.
Yeah.
You won't told how long we can hang around. You
won't see Dan though, because he's a grumpy arsehole. But I know Dan. He might just show up as like a celebrity appearance. I know what he's like.
I hear Spare Player might be there.
I'm not fucking going. Turns up and suddenly it's because I get to look cool giving prizes out. I'm like, that's like it's your game.
No, we don't need Spare Player at the moment.
Yeah, no, we're all good. We got Steve, and he's so hot right now.
No, he's really not.
So tepid right now.
I'd say lukewarm at best.
So tepid, yeah. Cool. Shall we transition to the hobby lobby?
Okay, dokie.
Yay.
Are you ready? Actually, if you're on YouTube as well, there's a banging remix of the Helldivers theme tune that someone's mixed on YouTube. You can also get it. Alexa will play it for you as well. If you say, "Hey Alexa, play Helldivers remix," yeah. And if you haven't played Helldivers yet, Pete, just because you've not played Helldivers yet, don't judge me. It's fucking amazing. You're just not democratic enough.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. Look, listeners side with me. That is all that's all that required. Fuck it. If you don't like the Helldivers transition, I've always got a bit of Tenacious D.
My loneliness is killing me.
Dan, can you do a good like Jack Black impression for like?
I can't, mate. No.
Can you not?
There was a point. There was a point in COVID where myself and Sheffy were sat outside. We took a picture to go, hey, look, we can look at us. Look at us actually socialising. And one of the first comments was, hey, look, it's the B-side Tenacious D.
Yeah. I believe that was me.
Yeah, I can't do Tenacious D. Anyway, hobby lobby. What hobby have we been lobbying?
Oh, I'm excited. I had to do 2 recon jeeps. Guess what I did? 2 recon jeeps.
Are you in the same boat as me, Pete, where you actually did your pledge because you had to go to the tournament? Because that was me.
Although Toph, I've got you down. I've got you down for 2 M3 Lees, a Staghound, and rebase Spurlie's life.
Yeah. So I indeed painted 2 Lees, a Staghound, and rebased Spurlie's entire Beastmen army for him.
Just because you're bored.
Which, if you follow the Old World Facebook group, if you're in our Discord, you will have seen his army. Frankly, Spurlie, it looks fucking amazing. Yeah. And looks way better on square Goblin Green bases than it ever did in the past. Hashtag
I'm gonna say, Spurlie, your paint job looks much better on green bases.
Yeah. Sorry, Spurlie, but right. truth sometimes be that way. But now that we've played Bolt Action at Welsh Nationals, I'm well up to seeing you play some Old World. It's gonna be so exciting.
So do you know what I'm going to do next Tuesday?
Play Bolt Action.
Yeah, because I'm playing my 800-point league game.
Man.
Looking at you, man.
That's a good point, League Commissioner. What are we going to do about V3?
So, what we're going to do about V3 is... Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that question. I'm glad you asked me that question. And what we'll do about V3 is we'll see where we are when it comes up to V3. Maybe we'll look to pivot into V3, or see where the synergies lie between V2 and V3.
You sound like such a fucking Tory right now.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Horrible.
That's what I'm trying to do. What we might do, is convince the poor
like Jeremy
that they want
V3.
We'll convince the poor that they want V3, whilst in actual fact they'd be better off with V2.
Okay. Okay, fuck off.
And then by the end of it, somehow I will end up top of the table, and there we go.
Good to know.
So how are those 40 Soviets and tanks, Spurlie?
Boom, done, mate. Yeah.
Formal protest. His tanks are not painted.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes,
I played against them. Yes, they are.
Spraying them dark green, filling in a bit of silver on the tracks, and calling it done so you can say hell dives if you're good for it, or whatever, grey, and then chucking them, saying they're done so you can say hell dives if your old mate Toph does not count as fully painted.
Done enough for
me, mate. I saw them on the board, they were fully painted.
They were not fully painted.
I saw them on the board and played them, they were fully painted.
You didn't even adhere to 3 colours minimum unless you count the bit he physically didn't even fucking paint.
I love how they're arguing this on my behalf. It's brilliant.
Pete sounds like Pete's lying to me like a Tory now.
Look, for the day it worked. Who cares? He's painted them. Let's be honest. Spurlie's never going to touch them again.
I know he's not, and that's what frustrates me, that he's calling them dumb when they're not.
They might get a drag rush at some point. They might get a drag rush.
No, they won't. Don't lie to yourself. They won't.
They might do for V3. They might do for V3.
For V3?
Yeah, they're not going to get touched. You're not wrong. They're not going to get touched now, are they? So, because I can't even use them in my league because they've got too high an armour value.
That's your fault, Spurlie. You've made my Greyhound god.
Yeah.
Dan, how did your peasants and knights go?
So I completed all of the peasant command. They're done, and I now have all the base colours on 10 questing knights. So
that's exactly what you said you'd do. Full house, boys.
I just want to take a moment out of like the topic to say that fucking peasant men at arms for 4 points each are fucking broken as shit.
They're great.
If you want to play the old world, just go and buy 2,000 peasants. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's pretty
Fucking-
much it.
Yeah. Actually, maybe more like 1,600 peasants and then 2 or 3 prophetesses. Also, what the fuck is that noise?
Pete's
Tin Pot
eating biscuits.
Podcast, man.
Pete's eating biscuits.
Tin Pot Podcast. Jesus. Fucking hell, mate. Jesus Christ.
He could at least share them, couldn't he? God, eating them on his own.
Yeah. What? Come on,
You should get the fucking Hoover out next.
There you go, there you go, mate.
share it with the audience, people. What are you eating?
Oh, not
Fucking
biscuits.
Walker's Max. That's like the loudest in the world was Walker's Crinkle Max, man.
No, the
they're
loudest
great.
is the McCoy. McCoys are clearly the loudest.
Oh, you say that, right?
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, this is just like the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they compare.
No,
when you have the
we've
crisp
already done
world
the 99 P.
championships.
We know he's fucking.
I'm Hitchcock
I'm sure
and
he's not
Scully.
loyal. I don't know.
Same time, yeah.
I feel like Pete's being a good Hitchcock right now.
Shall I go make a sandwich like I usually do? Just walk off
You're
now.
gonna have a shit like you usually do. Jesus Christ!
I'm
Right?
being
What?
I'm being a Gina.
Alex is also right in the chat. I did the 2 Laffleys and the 4 bikes. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 Laffleys and 4
They
bikes.
would, mate. I mean,
no, you didn't.
I mean this with the greatest respect. But if Spurlie doesn't get to count as fully painted, you don't get to count as fully painted.
I'll have you know, they were 3 colour minimum.
Yeah, but you ever going to use them again?
Oh no. And I'll never fully paint them. But they were 3 colour minimum, and there was paint on 100% of the models.
You bring great dishonour to the
I
world of Hobby Lobby.
am
Great, you are
honourable.
dishonourable. My vehicles were painted, they were weathered, they were based, they were beautiful.
That's where you went wrong. You see, you base.
You guys are a fucking travesty.
It isn't the old world, Toph. You can't just put a square base on it and hope it's good.
I fucking
You've got a
can.
new world
Fucking
now.
watch me. I'll do it again.
Call me a travesty. Have that.
Travesty.
I took my recon jeeps, thank you.
I
did.
fully
You
I
agree.
took
Those
the
friends-
recon jeeps you gave me without the sticky up bits to make the guns make sense. With drivers that I had to replace the head on. And no backman to show that he was shooting, and I made it look like a goddamn
My
recon jeep.
formal apologies for having
Yeah.
been caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
But Spurlie and Dan definitely deserved the double barrels for just shite hobby. I'm sorry. Shite
My
hobby.
pledge was Bretonians, and I
He
did
was, yeah. He did not pledge his friend.
Spurlie's hobby is as shite as the content he's been putting on Facebook, where he takes a picture of a single dice which rolled a 1 and went, oh, this is bad. He
No, there's a
said roll
story
a 1
behind
and I
that.
did.
No, there's a story behind that. So we had a club night where I was playing Spurlie. Turn 2, I went anything but a
Anything
1.
but a 1.
No, I went anything but a 1, and he rolled a 1, and we were like, well, that's quite amusing. Turn 3, I went anything but a 1, it happened again. Turn 4, I said it again, it happened again. Every single turn, like, by the time I hit turn 7, I was on the floor laughing because it was ridiculous. And then at Wales, first time he's rolling a 2+, I tell him I go anything but a 1, he rolls that 1, and I'm just like, oh no, not again.
So, the butt of the joke.
I'm
is
the
that
butt of the
Spurlie's
joke.
shit.
I'm the
Yeah,
butt of the
but
joke. Yeah.
Spurlie is just shit.
No,
There you go.
he just can't roll more than a 1 when you ask him to.
To be fair, no, I know that feeling. Right, what's next month's pledges? Come on, next month's pledges.
Yeah, Toph, what's your pledge? What are you going to paint, Toph?
Well, if I want to
What's
get
that? You
my
don't have models to paint.
If I have it. If I want to get my orcs ready for tomorrow's Old World event that I'm going to need to paint. Where's the list? Alex has been keeping me.
Would it be 20 orcs, 6 fanatics, and 6 squids?
Yeah. It's a manga squig, 5 squigs, 6 fanatics, 10 black orcs, 8 orc spearmen, 10 goblin bowmen, and I need to paint that within the next 8 hours. That's probably not going to happen.
No, you'll do it in 6. We know what you're
Back
like.
off. No, I will say though, hashtag like call out, go and have a look on the Discord at the Old World Slow Grow like thing we got. There's some pretty great shit in there, and a lot of it is mine. There you go. Go and have a look at the shit we're working on. Because my orcs look really pretty, they just take a million years to paint. So I'm going to pledge more fantasy orcs.
The returning knights that have been putting there have been looking big.
Yeah, that's looking wicked. If you want me to be more specific, I'll paint at least 10 Black Orcs, and then probably some more Goblins. There you go. Because I'd like to actually play a game with them at some point, and I refuse to play with them, but when they're not painted. So
yeah,
there you go. That's my pledge.
Spurlie, what are you doing?
not much.
So rebasing the Beastmen.
I'm going to do these 2 Burrows and Badgers models that I've got. Get them done.
Burrows and Badgers, that's still a
Burrows
thing?
and Badgers,
Yeah, there was a game on there
on Tuesday now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hear that, Dan? You can come and get your furry dreams put together.
Oh, world's out, mate. Burrows and Badgers is dead to me.
Mum and Dad, Fox are the best thing of Burrows and Badgers. I brought 4 5 with the Burrows and Badgers. I'm great. My name's Dan Lane. I didn't even play. I don't even play Burrows and Badgers. I know that's exactly what you've done.
The thing is, listeners / viewers, you've got me and Spurlie, me and Toph that don't play it, and Dan and Spurlie that do play it.
No, when we all started, it was me, Spurlie, and Kalo, Ian. We all decided we would create a faction. Spurlie got dogs, Ian got shrews or whatever it was. I chose foxes, and then I just bought all of the models that there are foxes of.
Yeah,
and that was it.
If you go single species, you get bonuses. So
single species.
Yeah.
Single species. Wow.
So you don't mix your otters with your ravens.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Hitler.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't put a fox and a shrew together, would you? Come on. Whoa.
You don't know what I won't do. Shut up, man. You ain't the boss of me. You ain't my dad.
Aren't I?
Yeah, fuck you, buddy. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
My pledge is just more Bretonian knights, Pete. I'm going to finish these 10 questing knights and start on the next, whatever it is. Probably some archers.
I'm gonna bet for Pete. Pete's going to. Are you ready? Rebase more Tomb Kings. Got it.
Do I need to? Hold on, hang on. Do I need to? What's left to be rebased? Yes, I do need to. So I'll be rebasing 40 skeleton warriors, and then probably looking to get some paint on something.
I was gonna say,
I don't know what yet. It might be red paint. It might be bone paint. It might be more British paint.
I would like to see 5 finished Tomb King skellies, so we can see what they would look like. Do you know what I mean? As test models. That'd be wicked.
You've already got a finished Leash Priest, so calm down.
Yeah, but that's a character. I want to see your rank and file, buddy.
Oh God! Nobody wants to look at my rank and file.
No.
As long as you don't whip it out in public, mate. No one wants to see your rank and file in public.
Well, with my current mental schedule, I'm just any painting time is great time for me.
Yeah. There we go. Pledges are in. I say I'm going to an old world event tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you want to come down, there's still a ticket going. If you want to buy a ticket at 10 to midnight.
Buy a ticket.
Just working at 3.
No.
Buy a ticket and then beat Toph mercilessly again.
Actually, no. I need to win tomorrow to make up for last weekend. So fucking stay away, Dan. You can.
I'll be honest. I've got a really good track record with the old world. I've not played too many games, but right now I've got a really good track record.
My track record is fucking amazing against anyone who's not Pete.
Yeah, weird.
My choo-choo Chaos Dwarf trains will rampage through anyone except Pete.
That's because I've got the units that will stand there and go, nah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But there we go. I think, just to round it out, that was Welsh Nationals review. I think as a podcast, we're kind of a bit done with V2 bolt action now. I can't envision us playing.
No.
Well, we've got Battle of Britain that we'll do a.
We got Battle of Britain we may do an episode on, but otherwise that don't envision much more content out of us. I think we might finally have to do a bonus episode talking about the old world.
Yeah. Well,
but
if you actually look at it,
that's what we're all into.
If you actually look at it, Toph, if we go mid-June for Battle of Britain review, and then that takes us into mid-July, and we should have some V3 content by then.
Well, if V3 content hasn't dropped by then, we'll do an old world episode.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to an old world episode anyway, chuck it in the doobly-doo in the comments and let us know how much you love it. Yeah. There you go.
Send us
There you
feedback
go.
and questions.
Feedback and questions. There you go.
Lots of
Dan, have you got
feedback and questions.
have you got a joke to round us out with?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. Are you gonna get us kicked off the internet?
Nah,
Probably.
no.
Nah.
It's only a nice one today.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So, my son's teacher called me the other day when I was at work and he was at school, and she said, "Is that Mr. Lane?" I said, "Yeah." I'd like to tell you that you've got a little Elvis Presley on your hands. And I said, "Oh wow, is he doing really well in music class or something?" She said, "No, he's dead in the toilets."
I thought you said this was a nice one. That's not nice at all.
Been a murder.
Good night, everybody.
Fucking hell. Good night.